Hello, hello. I'm in the squeaky chair again, so just so you know. Yes, it's Wednesday, not Tuesday. But for those of you who know, I've had stuff going on Tuesdays, and I do next week too. So we're just going to switch to Wednesday for lives for a little bit and see what happens. Maybe it'll stay there. I don't know. But I can't wait to hear what's been going on with you guys. If there's anything exciting. We're still in the 50s right now here. The sun is out today. It was raining all day yesterday, but by next week, we're going to be in the 80s. That's Michigan. We go from 50s to 80s. Like there's no beautiful 60s and 70s for a couple of weeks. It's like it just goes boom right into summer. Too hot for me. I'm like, no, I don't want 80. I want like high 60s and like to mid 70s is the most that I want, like 75. But yeah, we're going to go right into high 70s and 80 by the end of next week. So that's just the way Michigan does things. But yeah. Again, it was one of those, do I put makeup on before I come on here? And then I was like, no, I don't, because I did my workout earlier and took a shower. And then I've just been cleaning and stuff. And I think my husband and I are going to go for a walk when he gets home, because since it's actually nice out, even though it is in the 50s, I think it's the high 50s right now. So let's see what it says. Well, it says 50, feels like 50, but it's supposed to be 56 for high. But I'm surprised it's not that warm already if it's going to be. Yeah, I guess it's supposed to get a little warmer. But just throw on a jacket and go for a walk. So that will be good. But yeah, so I was like, I'm not putting makeup on. So sorry, guys. This is what you get. I think you're used to it by now. I saw someone come on for a second. But they're gone. They're gone. It's always super awkward talking to yourself on here. So somebody come quick, rescue me from myself. We have some, I can't remember in my last live if I told you guys about the duck or not. I feel like maybe I did. I don't know. You'll have to tell me when you come on. I'll ask you guys about it. We've just been having actually lots of animals in our yard and things we have never seen in our, well, we've been here for 11 years. We bought the house in April 11 years ago and moved in June. So we're having some new animals, little creatures running around that we've never had in all this time. So it's pretty funny to just see, like, all of a sudden, like, what the heck's going on? But it's fun. We're enjoying it. So I just came off of 2 days of migraine, well, Sunday and Monday. And so I didn't work out those 2 days. Well, Sunday's a rest day anyway, but oh my gosh, yesterday's workout and today's kicked my butt so bad. Like migraines just like deplete me. Like they just totally wear me out. And so I think like just coming off of that and getting back into working out yesterday, because I've been working out 5 days a week for, this is the 10th week, 11th week, maybe 11 weeks at this point. But man, like, so I've been used to working out, regularly. I had to take a few days off when I got my tattoo and stuff, but man, after having that migraine the other day or, Sunday and Monday and then working out yesterday, I thought I was going to die. And today too, I was like, I feel so weak. Like, what is my problem? So just got to get my body back into doing what it needs to do. But I see somebody's here. Hello, hello. I've been talking to myself for almost 5 minutes, so I'm glad someone's here. Talk to me, please. Sound like a weirdo over here. It is funny. My husband's like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you like talk to a camera and stuff, like you're just talking to yourself, basically, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but no, because I picture like, my friends that I talk to on here or that I know are going to comment later or whatever, in my regular videos. And then for on here, I love being able to, obviously, when you guys are popping up in chat, to be able to talk to you there. But It's funny because it's like he's like, I don't know how you can do that." I'm like, "I don't know." But I guess a lot of people can because there's a lot of people with channels. But they definitely, um Oh, hey, how you doing? Hello, hello. What's been going on with you? Have any, good finds lately? Tired? I hear that one. It's funny because it's like, okay, when I've got a migraine, I basically lay around for 2 days, 2 or 3 days because that's all I can do. But it's funny how, like, laying around like that makes you so tired. Like, it's hard to get myself although after it, I always feel like, "Oh, I wanna do stuff because I, like, feel good." But it definitely I can feel the toll it takes on my body trying to keep up with the dogs. They keep you running, huh? Aw. Yeah, I my sister has a Rottweiler. Oh my gosh, she's the cutest thing, but hey, Penny. Hello, hello. But man, the energy on that dog, and it's hilarious. And she is in love with my son Riley. Like she is just her name's Millie. And when she sees him, she just goes crazy. She cannot get enough of him. It's hilarious. Like, I don't know what it is about him, but she absolutely loves it. My sister is like, she does the same thing to my brother-in-law, who's like her dad, But my sister's like, those are the only two people she acts that way about. Like she just goes totally crazy over them. It's so funny. Like, I don't know what it is about him, but so are there like certain days that you know of that are like the best days to go to like find good finds in the dumpsters? I always wonder that, like, do you kinda have an idea of, like, what stores do stuff when and that kinda stuff? I would imagine you probably do at this point from since you've been doing it for a long time. How's the house, Penny? Is Faye, like, living in a new house? I always feel like it's, like, exciting, but a lot of times for kids, it's hard, like because 'cause they're so used to where they lived for a long time. Good, done. I figured that. Oh, okay. I just didn't know if there's, like, certain days that stores, tend to, you know, purge stuff or whatever. It's funny because I remember, like yeah, okay, because it is a weird thing, especially if that's, like, the only place you remember living, like, I don't know if that's where she's grown up the whole time or not, but that is a hard thing. My parents, so I was born down here, but then we moved up north when I was, um, 2, and my sister Dana was born up there, and then, when I was 6, we moved back down here, and, so I had lived up there for a while and stuff, but I was such a little kid, I didn't really it didn't have that much of an effect on me as far as to move here. And then, when I right before I was going to graduate high school, my parents decided to buy a new house. They didn't even tell us they were looking at houses. Just one day they came home and were like, "We're moving, blah, blah." My sisters and I were so upset because it was a house we grew up in. It was like the only and I loved it there. And I still dream about living in that house. My sisters do too. It's so funny. But yeah, it was just that was hard because it was like really all of my memories were there. And I still that house went up for sale a couple of months ago or whatever. So I was looking at pictures and things that they've changed in it and stuff, but a lot of it is really still the same. And it's just I don't know. That was hard for me though. And I hated the house that my parents moved to. It was a nice house. It never felt comfortable to me there. And I only lived there for like 2 years, before I moved out, but yeah, it never felt like home, it didn't I don't know. They don't live there anymore, but that was hard for me. I know for a lot of kids it is for sure, and I mean, I was 18, but it was hard for me. Oh, okay, junior. No, Penny? Oh, I hope that you will. I think too, a lot of that changes when you have, like, holidays and stuff there. Like, those things where, like, the family is all there and stuff like that, then it starts having more of, like, that homey feeling, um, because I get that, like, especially this time of year, it's like yeah, it's not in that, like, holiday realm or anything where it's, like, that warm, cozy family time feeling, and so I think that will definitely help once that stuff rolls around. And it's exciting to be like, "Okay, we get to decorate this house now for stuff," and whatever. Yeah, only a month, so I'm sure that will change for you. I knew this was gonna happen. My dang dryer just quit. I thought I had plenty of time, before I came on here because I like to pull stuff out right when it ends, so they don't get wrinkly. And I went in there and I was like, okay, I've got 15 minutes left on the dryer, although I know better than that because it changes. And I was like, and there's like 25 minutes before I go live. So I'll have time to hurry up and grab stuff out, like the stuff that matters. And then I went back in there and it was like 25 minutes. I'm like, yep. Yeah, that is hard. And people move away that, I don't know. It's actually, I pray for that for you guys too, Penny, for sure. But I think it will. It's just so new. Um, we were watching last night, was it called Married at First Sight or something, which is such a weird concept. I don't know why anyone would want to do that, but it was definitely entertaining. And we watched like a couple of episodes of it from this one season. And but there was this mom who like her son, it's I think like they're kind of in Washington, DC on this season. And his mom had moved to it's so because in school I remember being taught Uruguay, but that's not how you say it. Is it Uruguay or something like that? I mean, like, we say it totally wrong. Oh, yay, Christina, hello. How are you doing? He's had a bed and breakfast. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, I think it's just gonna take time. But yeah, his mom had moved to South America. Well, I'll just say that so I don't embarrass myself. And, she's like, she came for the wedding or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, good, I'm so glad. Feeling good, I hope?" Um But she's like, "You know that you mean the world to me. Whatever," and going on. And I have a hard time. I told my husband, I said, "I have a hard time when people say that, but they've moved away from their family. Like, you mean the world to me, but I'm going to move like hours and hours and hours away from you." Like, I don't, that's weird to me. Like, I can't imagine being far away from my family. And like, I don't know. Anybody else? I mean, I know a lot of people, their families go in different directions. Most of our family is all very right close. Pretty much all of my family lives within an hour of me. Um, aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody. I've got a cousin who had moved to California for several years. He's back to Michigan now. And then I have another cousin who lives in California. And then I have my one uncle and cousin stuff who live in Georgia. But otherwise, all of my family is within like an hour of me, or well, most of them. There's some on the west side of Michigan. Two of my cousins are on the west side, but even still, they're like 3 hours away. So, whoops, I just I don't know, I'm used to family being close to each other where we can all get together all the time and stuff. So I can't imagine, like, just moving across the country or to a different country. It just I don't know. Oh, I'm so glad you're feeling good. Aw, I'm sorry, Penny. And that's different though too, obviously, but my husband and I were talking about it, like, our parents are getting older. My parents are 65, they're not that old, but his parents are gonna be 72 this year, and not that that's super old either, but they're getting older, and, talking about, like, if you have siblings, and there's several siblings in a family, but some move away and then the others are left to be the caregivers of the parents and stuff. And I don't know, I just feel like it's sad to me. I feel like I try to picture when I'm older, if my kids all moved far away from me and like when I need them they're not there. Like, I would never want to do that to my parents or my husband's parents. And so I can't picture that. I just don't get it. Oh, Christina, and I get that. Like, my brother-in-law, he, and his wife, they met here, and her family lived here and stuff too, but then her family moved down to Ohio, and so they ended up moving down there too. Well, now since her both of her parents have passed away, but their whole lives are down there. Their sons' lives are, all there and everything. That's all they've known. And so I doubt he'll ever move back, because now that's where they've established their lives. Um, but again, he moved down there because she wanted to be near her family and stuff. And typically you go where the wife, kind of wants to go. And that's just kind of the way things roll. But oh yeah, junior. That's the thing. If you can go right when things and they know they can't keep it, that's a good idea. Oh yeah, this time of year is very busy with kids in school, all the different award ceremonies and stuff that they have going on. For sure. Penny needs a vacation. She needs to just be able to totally just chill somewhere with like a couple massages thrown in probably would be a good idea. Oh, okay. And it's so funny too, because like my husband, he's I know I've said it a million times, but if anybody doesn't know, the technology director for a school district, and like this is his slower time of the year, um, which is funny because you think with a lot of the stuff, they would need him for that, but there's a lot of things that they kinda just now at this point have, you know, under control, like, they've done it enough years to know how to do everything or use everything, but and they still occasionally are like, "We need you to help us set something up?" But, he loves this time of year because it's just slows way down for him, so and I love it too because he needs the break. He works hard. He gets phone calls at home all the time. He doesn't get paid for that. The other day, he was like, "Oh, I don't know if I should go up there for whatever." I said, "No, until they start if they want you to be on call, then they need to pay you accordingly. Like, you do not have an on-call job," you know? And so, like, he just feels like because people call him about stuff that he's like, "That's not part of my job," but he feels like he should do it. That's just the kind of person he is, which is fantastic. I mean, I'm glad that he, wants to help and do stuff, but I'm like, "Okay, but it's the weekend. You're home with your family. Like, you shouldn't have to go up there. That has nothing to do with you?" And then some people don't answer their phones. And I said, I guarantee they're doing that on purpose so that they don't have to deal with it. Like, so just because you answered doesn't mean you should have to. Like, that's frustrating to me. Yeah, 4 hours with a bunch of 8 and 9-year-olds. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. I'll give you that. My husband, it's so funny. They do 5th grade camp at the school. And so they take the kids to a camp. It used to be 3 days. So 3 days and 2 nights. I think now it's only 2 days and 1 night. Um, but he always would be one of the chaperones because they hardly ever have like there's not a lot of men that work at the school anyway, and so they would always have a hard time getting men to be like in the boys' cabins and stuff. And so he has gone for years and years and years. Well, I think he first started when Riley was in 5th grade, and Riley graduated 2 years ago. So I told you it's been a long time since he's been doing it. But so he was not going to do it this year. He said, like, I'm done. Last year was just day camp kind of things. They went for 2 days, but they just went for the day. They didn't spend the night there. And but he was like, "This is my last time. I'm not doing this anymore, whatever." Well, this year my niece Eden is in 5th grade. And so she's like, "But Uncle Brian, it's my 5th grade camp." And so he's like, "Oh," he'd do anything for that girl. And so he's like, "Okay, this is my last year though. I will do it for Eden, but then I'm done." And I'm like, I'm kind of glad too, because I always hate when he's gone. And however, Asher just got his driver's license on Saturday finally, so I'm super excited about that. He actually drove himself to school today. And so he usually when my husband's at 5th grade camp, I have to take Asher in the morning and pick him up and stuff. And so now he can go himself. I don't have to get up early. I don't have to leave in the middle of what I'm doing in the day to go get him. I'm like, oh, so last child in the house driving. We're good. I mean, it's a little bit scary. I'm not gonna lie. He went the other night and drove to pick up pizza. And I mean, it was like 15, maybe 20 minutes away from here where the place is. And so I was like, oh, just don't think about it. Just don't think about it. But he's a really responsible kid and stuff. So I don't think I have to worry about him too much. But I'm a mom and I worry. So, yeah, moving is, I mean, it's a lot of work for sure. Oh, that's fine. And you know what's funny is I heard it do it, but oh, I have my watch on my right wrist right now. I don't know how people do that. Like, the only reason is because my tattoo. There she is. Um, because I don't want it rubbing. Well, it shouldn't rub because where it is, I had him put it under my watch band, but still. Um, but so I've been wearing it on my right wrist and I cannot stand it. It drives me nuts. I don't know how anybody wears a watch on their right wrist. Ugh. Yes, Christina, I think it's a lot easier for guys to move. Like they don't usually have nearly as much stuff as us. Asher turned 16 at the end of October. So, because of basketball season and that kind of stuff, it kinda had screwed up his, driver's training classes, like the segments, because you have to take 2 segments and they have to be a certain amount of time in between them and stuff. And with practices and stuff, it pushed him back because he couldn't take it until after. So, he got his license late because he could have gotten it. You can get, well, you can get your permit and stuff he could have had like a year ago. But yeah, it pushed him back. So he had his permit since June, I think. And so, yeah, he just got. Oh, that's awesome, Christina. Hi, Anne. Oh, yay. Yeah, we'll see how long your internet behaves for you, huh? Thank you. Yeah, and I keep looking to and I'm like, "Oh, it's over here." It's so funny. Thank you. It's kinda hard to see. I've got a little bit of aftercare balm on it. It's looking really good. It's still like, it's peeling a tiny bit, but it was just a week ago Sunday, so, that's to be expected, but yeah, it's looking really good. I absolutely love it so much. I love, like, from the front, well, here, I'll show you. Like, you can just kinda see, this part of it, so, oh, I'm so excited about it. So, so happy. So I can't wait for it to be all healed up and just all good. And then my sisters are going and I are going, I think, the end of August to get our sisters' ones, which I think I'm going to get right here. So we'll see. I haven't exactly decided that for placement, but I'm thinking so. Oh, and so frustrating to wait on that stuff, isn't it? Yeah, it is doing really good. So, I did not have, he was like he put that, Sanoderm, which is like a second skin kinda thing on it, and sent me home with another sheet of it. It was like, "Okay, tomorrow you're gonna take this off and clean it," and he's like, "It's gonna be goopy, do it over the sink or the tub because you're gonna have, like the white blood cells, all the stuff comes up and gets gross." It did not ooze at all. Like, there was, like, a tiny little bit, like, in the middle of the sunflower. That was it. It was so weird. And then, he said, "Try to keep the second piece on for 4 to 7 days." I kept it on for 7, and well, I took it off on Sunday. I put it on Monday, I guess, technically, and took it off on Sunday. And, but it looked fantastic. So it's just, yeah, got a tiny little bit of peeling going on, which is normal, and otherwise, like, it didn't hurt getting it done. I never had any issues with it. It was a little bit itchy the other day because of healing, obviously. Other than that, I have not had any issues. Like, the next day, I couldn't even tell I had had it done. Like, I figured my arm would be sore and stuff, like, nothing. It was just, I'm like, "I guess that means I should just cover myself in tattoos because I don't have a hard time getting them." Yeah, it was not. See, and my son well, Riley's wasn't too bad, but Gavin's was on the back of his arm right here, and his did get really goopy. So, I mean, I'm sure it's just different people, your skin, the way your skin reacts to things and stuff. So, but yeah. Yeah, it's so bizarre to me to have on my right well, plus I'm right-handed, so it just annoys me. Well, here's the thing. I wear bracelets all the time on my right hand or right wrist, and, like, that doesn't bother me, but the watch, oh my gosh, like, no, no, no. Well, you can even tell they're not made to do that, like, the way they're designed, they're meant to be on your left that's the technical thing, right? Left wrist is for I think that's, like, an actual thing. Like, I'm not just making it up. Yeah, Penny, he said he only gives the second skin for big pieces. He said it's expensive for one, and the smaller ones, like, you don't have to worry about as much with the, like, you can take care of them easier with just, like, the aftercare balm and stuff like that. But for big ones, he likes to do the second skin. So it was really nice. He's not having to worry about anything getting into it or, it rubbing on anything. So that was cool. Yeah, I'm a I'm a worrier. Definitely. I try not to be. I when I catch myself being like that, I just try to pray a lot because I'm like, it doesn't do any good to worry about stuff but it's easier to say than not. Yeah, it's funny because now most people tell you not to put Vaseline on them. Even the one I got on my foot, which had to have been 14 years ago, that one they said do not put Vaseline on it. And different tattoo artists tell you different things, I think, so I mean, that wasn't the same tattoo artist I had this time, but which is another thing, I will never go to anybody else. I had so much fun. It was such a fun day. I was there for 5 hours. It took about 4 hours to do the tattoo, and he took, like, a few breaks and stuff to get up and stretch and whatever. But we were, like, listening to music and talking about a bunch of music and laughing about stuff, and he's got a daughter who's 8 years old, and he just adores her, and so he's talking all about her and stuff. It was just such a fun experience. It was a really good day, and, so yeah, I absolutely loved it, and he's phenomenal at what he does, like, he's so talented, and I'm like, "I will never go anywhere else again," and, my son absolutely loved my son's tattoo, I think it took, like, an hour and a half, and he was no, I don't even think it took that long, and he was there for, like, 3 hours just because they were talking because 'cause they're both drummers and stuff, and so he's just a cool guy, like, I said, "This is, like, an experience too for people," and, like, if I've been with tattoo artists who are not friendly, they act like they're, like, annoyed by you and stuff, and I'm like, "That's just such a bad experience," and he made it we just had so much fun. We were cracking up about stuff, it was awesome. Preparation H, it's so funny. No problem, Christina, thank you so much for coming on. Yay, love you, enjoy your packing. That's cool. Yeah, so oh, and then another thing did I tell you guys about the ducks? Or the duck that's in our yard? My husband had said well, I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a duck," the one day, and so I was taking pictures of it, and my husband's like, "Yeah, Asher and I saw 2 of them out there the other day, or the other morning or something." I'm like, "Weird, we've never had ducks out here." So I was saying, we bought this house 11 years ago in April, and we moved here in June. So in June, it'll be 11 years that we've lived here, and, never seen ducks. And so then, I was taking a picture of this duck out in front over here, and I went to go into the boys and Riley and Asher share a room, and I went to go into their bedroom to take a picture because it had walked over toward, like, where their window was. Well, I got in there and I'm like, "Where did it go?" Well, I have some bushes out in front, and there's one right over by there, and I'm like, "I wonder if it's in that bush." So I had said to my husband, I'm like, "I wonder if that duck is trying to make a nest or something in that bush?" So we had gone for a walk, and, this was last Saturday, not just this past one, but the one before, and, when we got back, I was like, "Ooh, let's go." I wanted to go look and see if that duck was trying to make a nest in there. Well, when we started to walk up to it, it flew out of the bush, and we're like, "Oh my gosh." And so we went and looked. I'm trying to think. I told people about this and stuff and showed people, so I don't remember if it was you guys or not. Um, Let me see here if you'll be able to tell. 12 eggs in there. 12 eggs. So I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna have little baby ducks running around everywhere." Like, I'm so excited. So, yep, she's the other day, I'm like, "I wanna go out and see, like, make sure they're still there." I'm like, "I'm sure if something got to them, you would see remnants of, eggs around there," and we didn't see anything. But so my husband's like, kind of pulling apart the bush and like, "I don't really see anything," whatever. All of a sudden he goes, "Oh, she's in there." And I could see her butt hanging out kind of over under the one side, but she was not moving. She was staying totally still. And, so yeah, I'm so excited to see that. So then we had we have pheasants that keep coming into our backyard. We've never had pheasants here before. We have deer that come up every evening and stuff. So we're used to that and tons of rabbits. But we always have a bunch of different kinds of birds and stuff, which is funny because we don't have trees really. So I don't know why, but we've got a lot of like swallows and killdeer, mourning doves, those kind of birds are always all around our house. And then yes, was it yesterday morning? No, it must have been Sunday morning. Yeah, my husband and I were watching because I had a migraine, so we didn't go to church. We were watching it on TV. And all of a sudden he's like, "Oh my gosh, look at that." And there was this huge turkey walking across our yard. I'm like, "We've never had a turkey here either." So ducks, pheasants, and turkeys. Like, where are they coming from? I'm like, suddenly all these fowl are coming into our yard. So funny. It's so funny. A duck from the dumpster. I know. I hope that, like, I don't know, like, the duck does not, you can walk out there and stuff, and she doesn't, like, fly at you or anything. Obviously, we don't just go up to the bush, except for that time, but she didn't move. But, like, Asher goes out and plays basketball all the time, and it's not that far over from where that's at. I mean, not where the ball can bounce and hit it or anything, but it's loud and stuff, and it doesn't, like, startle and fly or anything like that. So, I'm hoping, like, when they hatch and stuff, she won't, like, be like, if we try to go out and look, she won't be, like, flying at us and freaking out or anything. We'll see. Penny, I love that you have cats that come and visit. That cracked me up so bad when you put that. That is so stinking cute. That's so weird. Yes, lucky duckling, I would say so. Like, why would it be in the dumpster? My nose always gets, like, itchy or something when I get on camera. So weird. Doesn't when I film, like, so I thought it was just, like, a weird, but I don't know, it's doing it to me right now. Lucky duck. That is too funny. But yeah, so we got ducks, we got a licensed kid, I got my tattoo. My son Riley started a new job and it's a sales job, so he was doing training and stuff. And last week, toward the end of the week, like partway through the week, he was going out and like shadowing another sales guy. And then he went out by himself, or no, he was shadowing another sales guy at the beginning of the week. Then he went out by himself. I think, was it just Thursday and Friday? No, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And whatever. And he was kind of bummed because nothing was really happening. Of course, they're putting the new people in the cruddiest areas. I'm like, that's just going to be the way it is. Once you have some seniority there, then they put you in the better areas. But they're always going to start the other, like they're going to give the good areas to the established salespeople. Um, But Monday he went to work. His second house he went to, he got a sale. So we were super excited about that. So he had his first sale this week. And my husband had told him he loves Jets. Well, you guys might not have Jets pizza, but their deep dish BLT pizza is like Riley's favorite. So my husband had said, when you get your first sale, we're gonna get BLT pizza from Jets. So he did. And Asher had come home. So Asher got his license on Saturday. So this was on Monday. He's like, can I take the car and go to the gas station and get Riley one of his favorite drinks? And so he went and got him one of his favorite drinks and wrote him this note and like about how awesome he is and like whatever and congratulating him on his sale. It was super cute. It was a fun day. And and he went and picked up the pizza and stuff. So Monday was a fun, even though I had a migraine, it was a fun celebrating day here at our house. Loved it. Aw. Oh, that's a good idea, Penny. You're like, "I've got some bread for you." Oh. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I know because it was funny, my husband and I were sitting out on the deck, and I looked over, and in the backyard, we really just have, like, one one neighbor across the street and one next to us, and, I could see in their yard that they have a little like a kiddie pool, like one of the blue plastic ones, because they have a dog, and so I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's funny, they have, like, a pool over there for the dog," and I'm like, "Oh, we might need to get a little pool for the ducks." Like, I mean, I'm gonna guess they're not gonna stick around too long. It's funny because my sisters, like, I sent them the pictures. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, look at," whatever, and they're like, "Ah," like freaking out, like, "It's gonna be so cute." And they're like, "But you don't even live by water." And not really. I mean, there's a big pond, like, down the road, and then, but behind us, there's a creek. So that's all I can think, like, at the back of our property, and so I'm like, maybe because I see them flying, like, the 2 ducks fly in from there in the evenings. So, I'm thinking they, like, hang out by the creek at night, or I mean, during the day or something, and that's why they decided to come here. I don't know. That's funny. Oh my gosh, so funny. At least they're not bringing, decapitated mice and stuff. Like, oh, I always used to hate that when the one cat, well, 2 of the cats that we had when we were younger would bring, or leave, like, some sort of organ that they don't like to eat. They would just leave that laying all the time. I'm like, "Ew." Aw, aw. My sister has chickens, and it was so funny because on Easter, we went over there, and, so we were out because the girls were doing an Easter egg hunt and stuff, my nieces, and, so I went over and I'm looking at the chickens, and my other sister had come over by me, and I'm like, "They're so fun, but I have no desire whatsoever to pick up a chicken." And my other sister's like, no, me either." Because, of course, my sister who owns the chicken, she picks them up and carries them around and does whatever with them, but I'm like, I picked up when they've had chicks, I picked those up, but I'm like, "I'm not picking up a big old chicken." Oh, they're bringing you flowers. That's so nice. That's cute. Oh my gosh. My parents have indoor, outdoor cats. They bring live animals in the house. They have brought in birds that are alive, mice, and they let them go, and then um, I think a rabbit. Yeah. I'm like, No, no, no. I don't think so." Huh. That's interesting. I would never try to, like, touch the ducklings or anything like that, but just because I don't know, whatever, I wouldn't want them to not be taken care of because I know some animals do that, like, if people touch them, but yeah, like, the chickens are cool, like, I like to watch them and stuff, and, I mean, they get a ton of eggs from them and stuff, so that's awesome, but, I'm like, I wouldn't wanna pick them up. Nope. They've got a bunch of kittens at their house right now too, like, but I think they found homes for all of them, so that's cool. 'Cause a stray cat, they did not have a cat, and then this stray cat started coming around, and, um, my sister set up an appointment to get it fixed, and my niece was like, "Mom, I think that cat is pregnant," and she's like, "No." And so she went, and sure enough, and so then she had these kittens, so she's like, so she's getting fixed because she's like, "I don't wanna just get rid of her, but she needs to get fixed because 'cause I'm not gonna keep having kittens." Oh, that'd be so fun. Yeah, I'll have to go out. I'll have to sit because I can just sit right on the porch right there, and the bush is, like, right next to it, and see if she'll come out if I put some food out for her. 'Cause like I said, like, that one day when we walked up, she flew away, but she didn't fly at us, she just flew away, and then we were able to look in there and see that all those eggs were in there. Oh, there's a mourning dove just flew in front of the window. I felt so bad. I was so glad I wasn't here when it happened because they always pair up, and I love them. Mourning doves are like some of my favorite birds. Oh, there's the mate. Um, and so they're always hanging out right here. Well, one day I got home from somewhere and Riley was like, "Oh, mom, I was sitting here watching TV and all of a sudden I heard this big thud and looked and he said I looked at this mourning dove and it sort of like looked up and then its neck just rolled back and it broke its neck basically. And I'm like, "Oh no." Cuz then I was like devastated because I'm like, "Now its mate is like left alone." I was like so upset about it. And so I'm like, I realize this is nature and these things happen, but it still makes me sad. But yeah, there's a pair right here. And I'm like, "You dumb birds, like, don't fly into the dang windows." But I also don't wanna put like, my parents put up, they're kinda like clear things that you put on the windows, whatever, so that they can tell they're windows, but I don't want those all over my windows. I'm like, just be smarter than that, birds, would you?" Yep. I love the ones that pair up for life. Like, I think that's so cute. I love cats, but I'm allergic to them. So and some dogs. I'm allergic to some dogs. So our dog, we had a Shih Tzu, so she was like a hypoallergenic kind of dog, so I didn't have any problems with her, but we knew once she passed away, for one thing, I was like, "I will never do that again." It was so horrible. Oh, it was horrible. My friend Jenny and I were just talking about it the other day because she had a dog that I think passed away the year before ours. I can't remember exactly. They were not very far from each other or whatever. But she was kind of the same as me, like, we loved the dogs, whatever, but I'm not an overly animal person, like, it's just not me, and so I loved her, she was sweet and whatever, I was her person, and so she followed me everywhere and whatever, but I had no idea that I would have that hard of a time when she died, and that's what my friend Jenny said. She goes, "I didn't even think I'd be, like, super upset when the dog died, but when she did, I was devastated." I'm like, "I know." And so I was like, "I will never." My husband and I both said, "We're never doing that again." And, also though, because we knew, like, our kids are older and we wanna be able to go off and do what we wanna do, and I have to worry about finding somebody to watch our dog and stuff, so we knew once she passed away, we wouldn't get any more. So now I just see other people's dogs. I'm like, oh, that's cute, but I don't need it or want it. But yeah, some dogs though, I have a hard time around. Like I'm allergic to them, and I don't know. It must be different kinds of dander or something. I'm not sure. Do those ones have long hair? I don't know if I know what kind that is. My parents' cats, though, I do not like their cats. The one is just I cannot stand this cat. For one thing, she's creepy looking as heck, and she's got, like, these super sharp claws. She will act all nice to you and then just attack the crap out of you. I hate cats like that. I'm like, I have no use for animals like that. And, she attacks the kids all the time and stuff. Like, my kids and me and stuff, when we see her coming, like, if she's by the couch, we get up, like, we move away from her. My parents laugh about it, but I'm like, "No, I can't stand that cat." And then their one other cat, you don't really see him a lot. He kinda stays away when there's people around, and he will be nice and let you pet him, but you have to be very careful where you end, like, you have to end, like, before the middle of his back because if you go any further, he'll bite you. No, thank you. Like, I don't wanna have to think that hard when I'm petting a stupid cat. And then, the other one, I don't know, I don't really ever mess with her too much. Um, I don't know, like, I think because of the other 2, she was the last one that ended up showing up there, And so I think just the experience with the other 2, I'm like, "No, thanks. I don't have any use for petting you," or I'm like, "I like cats that you can pet and they're sweet and, whatever. I do not like cats that, like, will just turn and bite you or scratch you or whatever. I don't that like, being unpredictable like that, that's not fun to me. That's not a pet that I want in my house. I'm like, "No, thanks." My cousins had a cat when we were growing up. It would hide under the bed, and you would have no idea, and you would just, like, be walking through a room, and that thing would come flying out and attack your ankles. Oh my gosh, I hated it so much. Oh my gosh, that would be fun to see, Junior. Yeah, and I don't mind, um, if you're gonna be a cat, be either like how you're talking, like, super friendly and wanna be like and they're sweet, or hide if they don't want to be around people. I'm fine with that. Like, if you don't want me to touch you, that's fine, you can hide. I'm not gonna go seeking you out. But, like, the cats that come up to you, like, they wanna be friendly, and then when you're, like, being nice to them, they just turn on you. I hate that. Like, "No, thanks. No, thank you." This is so weird. Lucy Pert said that she sent me a message on, Instagram and said she was gonna stop by and say hi, and she's not here. Rude. No, I'm just kidding. The cat, I'm trying to think of what the kind of cat is that the my parents' one cat is. It was basically their neighbors that they didn't take care of it and kind of it should have been like mostly an indoor cat, the breed that it is, and they sort of just like kicked it out of the house because they didn't want to take care of it. That's a whole different story. That stuff ticks me off. Like, don't get a pet if you're not going to take care of it. And so my actually my son Riley saw it. Was it Riley or Asher? I don't remember now. Walking around behind my parents' garage and was like, "There's a cat back there," or whatever. Well, then they ended up taking it in, and big mistake. And but they already had a different one that their dog had chased down in the woods. They don't even know where it came from, but it was just a tiny little kitten, and they took it out of their dog's mouth, and then it became a pet. And then this other one wandered up one day. Wonder is her name because my niece said, "I wonder where she came from. We should name her Wonder." So that's what her name is. Um, but she, just wandered up one time when a bunch of us were there. Like, it was we had a big family event going on, and she wandered up and came in and was just laying all over everybody and being all sweet. So I'm sure she was someone's cat, which they put pictures on Facebook and all this stuff trying to figure out where she came from and never could find, so they just kept her. I'm like, "Okay, please don't keep any more cats." Aw, Penny, I just looked at the picture of Faye. How stinking cute. Adorable. That girl's hair, I'm so envious. Aw, awesome, awesome. Faye's hair and my cat's fur, that's hilarious. Oh, man, that's another thing, though, I can't do, like, our dog didn't shed, and so I had to take her and have her groomed and stuff, but, and I would, like, kinda trim her in between groomings and stuff, so but we didn't have shedding and stuff like that, and she didn't track in too much stuff either. Like, we one time had fleas, and it was because my sister's dog had fleas, and my sister brought her dog over to my parents' house, and, we would all bring our dogs over, and, so she got fleas from her, but it wasn't super bad. We were able to get rid of them in the house and stuff real fast, so that wasn't too bad. So that was only one time with her, and then she did bring ticks in 2 or 3 different times, like, over a couple of summers where when they were really bad, but nothing major, and we treated her and stuff, so then she was fine. But, she was such a good dog. Basically, it was hard if it was, like, obviously, like, muddy out and she's going out to the bathroom and stuff, but I would just keep a towel by the door wall, sliding glass door, and, wipe her feet with it when she came in, and then, right after my husband would mow, she would come in and have, like, little grass would be everywhere, but, like, nothing major. So she was a very easy dog. She was had a really good temperament. She was a really good dog. And that's the thing too, we're like, we will never get another dog like her. She was such a good dog. I like wouldn't even chance it. Oh my gosh, you're like, "Cover your face, girl. Cover your face. You don't want cats coming at your face." That happened to my mom. Oh my gosh. So their one cat, the first one that they have, it's an orange cat and he's huge. He's so huge. And so he had gotten up in like in their porch. They have like a big log home that they built and it had gotten up in the porch. I think it was going after a bird or something, but it was like he was scared up there, like didn't know how to get back down. And so my mom took like a step ladder and went up to get him. Well, when she was bringing him down, he got scared, so he just latched to like hold on to her. But his nail went right inside of her eye, like down in her like lower lid. Oh, it makes me sick just thinking about it. And thankfully it didn't damage her eye. It looked so bad though. Oh my gosh, it looked so bad. But she said, she goes, I was like, okay, I can't panic. I can't panic. I just have to get him down and get, because, otherwise if he'd be like going crazy. Oh my gosh. Yikes. Hi, Kate. That's okay. I know it like is going to mess everybody up. Well, I had to go to Secretary of State for my parents yesterday and my appointment was at 1:10. Um, to get them temporary plates that I had to mail down to them in Florida. And so I was like, well, not going to be home that Tuesday. And then I wasn't home the Tuesday before because I went to a friend's house for lunch. And then she invited us back over next Tuesday because we're going to celebrate my friend Jenny's birthday while we're over there. So I'm like, you know what? I better just try to do lives on Wednesdays for a couple weeks, or maybe we'll stay here. Actually, I should have told, I should have sent Debbie a message because I know Tuesdays don't usually work for her because she has therapy on those days. So, oh, hi, Sue. I just saw you too. Yay. No, you're fine. Yeah. Oh, freaks me out in the eye like that. Yeah, no kidding, Penny. Like, hello, cat. Hello, hello. Oh man, Sue. You need to let some cats loose up there. Aw. Here's my tattoo. I absolutely love it so much. He did such an awesome job. I was saying it's healing really good. It's just peeling a little bit because it was just a week ago on Sunday that I got it. So thank you. I'm so happy with it. Like I seriously, I'm like, I cannot like stop looking at it. I'm like, it's absolutely everything I could have wanted, but more. Like it's better than anything I could have imagined. Oh, I'm so excited. I was saying, like, I love how it looks like when I'm just standing, like this part of it that shows, but then, and from the back, you don't really see that sticks out a tiny bit, but nothing, I've got some aftercare balm on it, so it's shiny, but thank you. Like, I already can't wait for the next one that I'm getting with my sisters. Can't wait. I'm not looking forward to the family members who I know are going to have annoying things to say about it, but whatever. Thank you. Yeah, and I was so happy to like I was saying earlier, it was such a good experience. It was just a really fun day. I was there for 5 hours. It took like 4 hours to do it. And but we were just like he was super excited because he's like he has like this big screen TV like in his area and stuff and it was just him and I there because the other guy wasn't working that day. And he when I came in, he's like, is there something you want to watch on Netflix or something, or do you want to listen to music? I'm like, I kind of would like to just listen to music. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what kind of music do you like? So I was kind of telling him. And so he's like, no way. He's like, this is the best. No one ever wants to listen to music. And he's like, and it's like music I like. So we had so much fun just listening to all different kinds of music and talking about it. And he's a drummer and he did my son Riley's tattoo too. So we were talking about like the two of them, stuff they were talking about, and just it was a really, really fun day. And so I'm like between just the experience, like what a good personality he has, like um, I don't know what you'd call it because, like, if it's a doctor, you'd call it like bedside manner, but that's not really. But I mean, it's just he makes you feel very at ease and makes it really fun. And so it's not just getting the tattoo; it's like the whole experience is fun. And then the work that he does is phenomenal. He's like crazy talented. So it was like so exciting, and yeah, so I can't wait to get another one, and he's going to work with me on. He was super excited. This was so cool too. So I was telling him, like, before we got started on this one and stuff, I was like, yeah, I already know I'm going to be coming back to you because I have like this cover up. So I showed him because it's on my lower right back, and he goes, oh, we can cover that up with anything because it's small what I have back there. And so I was telling him, about my sobriety and stuff and kind of the idea I have, and how like the song Slave to Nothing is like, it's like an anthem for me. And so I think I want it to say that and maybe have like my sobriety date and stuff. And he's like standing there and he's going, all right, all right. He's like, you got my wheels turning. And he's like, we're going to do something awesome. Like, and so I'm super excited about that. When he loves to do, I asked him what his favorite kind of tattoos to do are. And he said, color realism tattoos. He does amazing flowers and stuff that are color, like they look so cool. So maybe we're going to do something like that. I'm not sure yet. So I'm super excited to do that. And even my husband, who's not a big tattoo guy, when I got home, he's like, that's pretty cool. Like he really likes it. And then I was telling him about talking to him about the cover up tattoo and stuff and what I want to do. And he's like, I think that's an awesome idea. That sounds super cool. So he doesn't want a tattoo on himself or anything, but he's like on board with the one I got and what I want to get and stuff. And so that's really cool too. So I'm excited. Ooh, nice. New steps. When we moved here, we had to put new ones on our deck. Well, okay, so this was weird. No, they had put new ones on, but they didn't put. There's supposed to be, if they're a certain space apart, there has to be like a backing to them or whatever for like safety, so that your feet can't get caught between them or something. I don't know, or you can't fall between. I don't know, but I'm like, okay, why did they even let them do that then? So like, because when the inspector came out here before we were buying the house, he's like, you're gonna have to fix that. Like you're gonna have to do, and I'm like, why wouldn't they have done that when they built it? But whatever. Because they were brand new. Like it was brand new wood, like stairs. I'm like, weird. Bye, Junior. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you find some good stuff later. You'll have to let us know if you come on next week if you found some good dumpster diving finds. Oh, that's good too. Definitely don't want anything that could be dangerous and get you hurt. Definitely not. I was saying too that it's 50 degrees right now. Well, it might be slightly warmer now, but my husband and I were talking about going for a walk when he gets home because it's actually dry out today, so that's nice. It rained like all day yesterday. Yeah, it still says it's 50, but and by tomorrow it's supposed to be 64 for the high, so that's nice, right? And then we go back into the 50s again. And by next Wednesday, we're up to almost 80. And basically Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are like 80. This is what Michigan does. We go from like 50s to 80. Like we don't get like 60s and 70s for a couple of weeks to just enjoy and ease into the warmer weather. No, we get right into it, which drives me nuts because I hate like 80-degree weather, but whatever. I'll deal with it. But yeah. I just realized I need to, oh, you had to turn your air conditioner on? Yeah, not here, not here. Um, but that's the thing too. You go from heat to air. Like that's what bugs me. I want to be able to have like a couple weeks of being able to just have windows open and the fresh air coming through because it's warm enough to do that, but not so warm that you need to like cool the house off. And so that kind of drives me nuts about like our springs because it's too fast. Like I wish that we would start like in March getting into 60s, be like 60s and 70s through April, and then like, start getting warmer. But but then too, it can be June and we can be in the like, well, we've probably had 50s in June. I mean, it's ridiculous. So it's kind of all over the place. Oh my gosh, 90. Ugh. Yeah, winter to summer, totally. It's so funny though, because my parents are in, Florida. They've been there since February or end of January. I think end of January. Um, and my dad, when I was talking to him yesterday, he's like, I'm looking forward to coming home to escape the heat because it's like 90 something. He's like, it's so hot down here. And I'm like, I don't know how anyone can stand that. Like, I could never, ever live somewhere like that. It would be awful. I would just want to be inside all the time. Like, ugh, no thanks. But yeah, he's like, it's way too hot. So he's anxious to get back. I'm anxious for them to get back. I miss them. So, I mean, I'm glad that they get to go like do this stuff, but at the same time I hate it. My sisters and I all hate it. Um, Again, we're happy for them. We want them to be able to enjoy, the things that they enjoy, but I wish they weren't gone for so long. But I don't know. And then my mom was like, "Well, next year we don't plan to be gone as long, like as late into the summer or whatever, into the spring." And she's like, we want to be back, before Mother's Day and stuff. And I'm like, she goes, but we'll leave earlier in January. I'm like, okay, well, then you'll be gone just as long. And she's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, then don't say we're not going to be gone as long. Like, that is not what I wanted to hear. Oh, yuck. Yeah, Sue, that is not my jam at all. Ooh, 48. Okay, so we're feeling about the same, Kate, because it's 50 here right now. So, yeah. But of course, the sun is shining. So, that definitely helps. It says the high for today is 57. Well, it's already what, almost 3 o'clock, or it is 3 o'clock. And so, when is it supposed to be 57 if it's only 50 now? Like, usually it is, this time of the day is when it's the warmest, and then it's kind of weird. Who knows? I need to, I feel like 2 weeks keeps going by super fast because Monday, yeah, Monday will be 2 weeks since I did my nails last. And I'm like, oh, I need to start thinking about what colors I want to do next. I really did like this is like a peach and like minty. And then I have a little, it's like a little flower that's like a little gem. But I'm like, what color next? I might do something bright, like pink like that. I can't wait to start like wearing my cute summer stuff. Thanks. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, that's springy and fun." But I'm like, I've got all these dresses and just cute new clothes that I want to wear. And I'm like, okay, I guess at least, if it's going to get that warm, that's exciting. And I think it's supposed to be like 75, I think, when I go to my friend's house for lunch on Tuesday. And so, she lives right by the water, by the lake, by Lake Michigan. No, not Lake Michigan, by Lake Huron. And so I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll go down by the water and like walk the boardwalk thing down there. That would be fun. Ah, yay. Oh, okay. Well, that's going to be an exciting time. Oh, how fun. We were talking last night to my oldest son about like wedding stuff for next year and stuff. And it's so stressful. And I feel so bad for them because it's like, they need to do things on a budget, and, so but they don't wanna, like, leave people out, and I'm like, "But you can't worry about that, like, you can't go into debt for your wedding because you just need to tell people our guest list has to be kinda small, has to be, just close family, because that's what we can afford." And I'm like, no one should be upset about that. Like, I can get people being like, oh, bummer, I'd love to be there, but totally get it, kind of thing. And I'm like, and if anyone's not that way, then why would you want them there anyway? Um, but yeah, so they're like kind of stressing about that. So I was like, well, I made a list of like the priority people, and I think there's like 29, including like my husband and I and the other boys. So um other than that, though, it's like, I mean, you need to have, like, your grandparents and, like, my grandma, and, other than that, like, your first, like, aunts and uncles because my family is really big, and so they have a lot of, like, great aunts and uncles and stuff, but I'm like, it's okay though if you can't do that, and that's they're having a hard time because 'cause they're like, "But they're our close family too, like, we want them there," but it's like you have to draw a line somewhere, and, that's kind of just the logical place to do it, and so, because that adds for my family, that adds another, like, um, what was it, like, 15 people or something, and so I'm like, "It's a lot of people," you know? So, because I think they're trying to keep it right around 100 people, so that gets hard, and then, like, my son was like, "I don't know, like, if you guys have, like, good friends that you want to come," and I'm like, "Here's the thing with that, though, too." I'm like, "It's your wedding. It doesn't make sense, like, for us to invite people that are our friends that you don't really know that well. It's different if it's, like, a family friend that you've grown up with, then that's different because like, they've watched you grow and been but otherwise, like, I don't feel like my friends need to be at my son's wedding, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, like, a necessity to me. So, but man. You're wearing shorts, huh? I know, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I need to, like, use some self tanner or something before I'm, like, bearing these legs all over the place." Ugh. Actually, last Saturday, I was so mad at myself. Not the Saturday that just passed, the Saturday before. So, it was the day before I was going to get my tattoo. It was the first, like, really nice day, and so it was, like, 70 something, and my husband and I went for a walk. When we got back, we had, like, our water and stuff, and we were sitting out on the deck talking, and then he started, like, kinda doing some stuff in the yard and stuff. Well, then I looked at him, I'm like, "Ooh, you're getting really red." Well, then I was fried. I mean, fried, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh," like, I wasn't really thinking about like, we went out to take a walk, I wasn't thinking like, "Oh, I need to put a bunch of sunscreen on before," but hello, our skin hasn't seen sun in, months and months. And, I was so scared that I wasn't gonna be able to get my tattoo because this side of me was all burned really bad, but under here wasn't. And so I sent him a picture. I'm like, "Are we gonna be able to?" Because like up here was really red and stuff. And he's like, "As long as it's not on that part of your arm, it'll be fine," which it was. But my face, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm like peeling still. My face was so red, and I have like some new little like sun spots that have popped up, which I'm not happy about. And I'm like, that makes me mad because I'm good about sunscreen and stuff. And I just was that day and it nailed me good. And so I'm like, oh, because even when I went to get my tattoo, I walked, I go, okay, I'm just gonna say right now, I have a crap ton of makeup on right now because my face looks like a tomato. And he was like cracking up. I was like, I look ridiculous. Like I had to put makeup on and try to like cover how red my face was. It was terrible. Yeah. Well, and that's like my husband even said, he goes, do a destination wedding. Have just like us, like, the parents and your like brothers and her brothers and whatever, and their wives or whatever. But like have just a destination wedding that we all go, a small group of us, and then, we leave and you guys have your honeymoon and whatever. And but it's like they want to have, their friends and stuff there. And that's the thing too. I'm like, I want like there's certain family members that should be there, but then I want you guys to have your friends there. Like, this is your wedding, And so, and like, we've just never been, we're not flashy people. We're not like for show or things need to be fancy or like have some sort of like high standards for stuff. Like, that's not what it's about. And I think it's insane that people go in debt for their wedding. Why would you want to start out your marriage like that? And just like the people who really love you are just excited for you that you're getting married and they're excited to be a part of it. If they're really that concerned about what the food's like and if you're eating on China or if your flowers are extravagant or whatever, like, okay. That's just not that's not the way we were raised. It's not the way my husband was raised. It's not the way we've raised our kids. Like, I'm like, it's not the kind of families that we come from. And her family's not like that either. And so I'm like, you guys, like, don't have to feel like you need to be impressive to people in any kind of way. Like, it's not worth it to stress yourself out, Your wedding should be fun. It shouldn't be stressful. I mean, some stressful things come along with it because it's just the nature of like planning something, but like don't make it more stressful than it needs to be. Yeah, so that could be dangerous. That could be dangerous. I'm trying to think where we just were that something was like that, that I was like, "Oh, this doesn't seem safe." Like, this does not feel right. That's funny. Well, and then if you're somebody who has any kind of, like, balance issues or anything, like, whoa, stuff like that'll totally throw you off. Definitely. We kind of been talking to my husband and I about, because 'cause we've talked about moving and stuff a lot, and the one day he was like, he came home from work and was like, "I've really been thinking about this." And he's like, I don't know, like with our situation, like the way things are, our house will be paid off in 3 years. So we will be 47 when our house is paid off. Like, that's awesome. And, he's like, I think it would make more sense to do the things to this house that we want because we like our house. We really want an extra room off the back, a big great room with a fireplace and stuff. And really basically just so that we have a space for kids and grandkids and stuff to all be here. And so kind of got talking about that and stuff and just things that we can do for, issues of, so like the barn across the street is falling. And you see, if you're on Instagram, you've seen me, and I post pictures of the barn all the time because I love it. That was one of my favorite things when we moved here. But we were talking about if we build that room, that's where we're going to spend most of our time. So that will kind of be irrelevant because it's not like we're going to be sitting seeing that the barn's not there. And talking about for like privacy issues as far as like the people who are going to be moving in next door. Um, we can plant trees now and stuff and start doing some things over there. We were talking about putting like a kind of just a privacy fence thing, like so to build the great room and then have like a patio that goes out and then kind of like a privacy fence across there so that it kind of gives you like a block and some privacy and stuff and just things that we could do, you know, because we do like actually where we live, like the location I really like we live on dirt roads, but we're not that far off of pavement. So that's nice and stuff. And we're close to the expressway. So to hop on for like where our church is and stuff, because it's like half an hour away, but it's like we hop on the expressway and go there. Like it's not, and stuff. So we're like, there's a lot of things that we do love about. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this. Okay, so Asher just got home. I can see him in the car. He's getting the mail before he comes in. I stinking love it. He's got his music playing in there. Poor kid has to drive a PT Cruiser because that's our other vehicle that we have. But he's like so good about it. He's like, I don't care. I don't care. He's like, people make fun of it. But he's like, I'm saving up my money so I can get a good car. Like he's such a smart kid. But I love that he just stopped and got the mail before he came in. Adorable. The little things in life that make me happy. Yeah, and Kate, I think that's nice. Like there's no, I don't we do things so weird sometimes, like how we try to make things so extravagant and like why? Because people are making money off it. That's why. Yes. So one of my cousins, her and her husband took out a $25,000 loan for their wedding, which blows my mind. And she said, I wish we would not have done that. I wish we would have put money down on a house and had a much simpler wedding because people don't remember that. Like, I mean, I remember their wedding, but I don't remember anything more special about it than anybody else's that I've been to. And so it's like to go through all that. I couldn't tell you what kind of flowers she had. I felt bad for her because her wedding pictures, the girl who did them, did something weird, and all in all of the pictures, her wedding dress looks blue, like a light blue. It wasn't, it was white. And like, so weird things happen and stuff still. And like she spent all this money and it's like, for what? Like you are literally the only one who remembers really what your flowers were like and stuff. Most people don't remember that stuff. I don't remember what food we had there. I don't remember, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really make any sense. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be extravagant to be nice. Oh, thank you, Penny.
Ooh, I got the mail.
Oh, thank you, hon.
Yeah.
Oh, your house is up for sale. It's such a weird thing.
I had to sit on M19 for like 30 minutes, just sitting there, because the line from the train
Oh,
was
the
so far
train. I
back,
could
it
hear the
was blocking
train.
Bert,
Oh my gosh.
so I couldn't even get on. And when I went to buy a Coke, what? No, you're not alive. Okay.
No. I am on a live, but that's not what I was saying. Okay, what?
I went to buy a Coke from the vending machine in the school, so I bought a Cherry Zero.
And you got a Diet Coke?
And it gave me a Diet Coke.
Ew.
They raised the price to $1.50 now for a Coke.
Whoa.
Makes me mad.
That's a bummer. You think you're getting a cherry Coke?
Nice.
Cheery Coke. That's a happy Coke, a cheery Coke, a cherry Coke. And you get a Diet Coke, not even close to the same.
Not at all.
Not
It's a
even
zero.
close.
It's not even like a diet, so it's a little different too anyways.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. And that's the thing too. Now, I mean, obviously it's nice to have some professional pictures and stuff, but also too nowadays when people ew, gross on both. Um, everyone's taking pictures at weddings and stuff. So you can get a million different pictures of different stuff. Obviously I do like to have some of the professional ones, but there's a lot of people who can take really, really nice pictures now that are not like professional photographers. So even that, like to spend a ton of money on. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Sorry, I'm texting something real quick. I don't like to do that when I'm on my live, but there you go, Asher. I sent you a text. Oh, wow, Penny, that's crazy. I mean, not crazy that you did that. I just mean like to go from the. Oh, good. I'm doing very well. Thank you. Yeah, that's the thing. Exactly. Like go on a nice honeymoon. Have money for down payment for a house. Like don't spend a ton of money on the wedding. It's one day. It's I keep just saying it's one day. Like to spend thousands and thousands of dollars for one day. It's like, why do we do these things? Like our wedding was very minimal. My original wedding dress was supposed to be $800, but then they changed everything right at the last minute. And I couldn't get that dress anymore. That was a whole other thing. But so I think my wedding dress ended up being like $400. And then because I bought one of the ones like off the rack and just to have like altered, And then we got artificial flowers and did all of my flowers were artificial, but they looked really good. The caterer we had is a well-known one in our area that's really good, but they're not like crazy expensive. We had it the reception was at uh what the heck's that called? An American Legion hall. So it wasn't something fancy, but it was nice. So many people have said your wedding was one of like my favorite weddings I've ever been to. It was so much fun. It wasn't stuffy. It was just fun and like, you know what I mean? And so it's like we have such good memories of stuff and we didn't just spend tons of money. Penny, isn't that the truth? Oh my gosh, so funny. Yeah, like, how about we just skip that? It's hilarious. Yeah, $25,000. It's if you've got that kind of money, then go you. But I have no idea why people would want to take out loans and stuff for weddings. Like, that's just starting your relationship out in a financial issue And that is known to be, like, one of the biggest issues that people have in a marriage are financial issues. Why would you start out your marriage like that? It just makes no sense to me at all. That's awesome, Sue. Aw, and see, Penny, that's the thing too. Like, we also have like these super, traditional ideas about things, which I mean, that's fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but it also doesn't mean it has to be that way. Like, I like when people do something a little outside the box and just like that's memorable. That's stuff that's memorable and fun. I'm in Michigan. Where are you at? I know we've got Alabama, Indiana. I don't want to say right where I'm at. Well, I'm on the east side of Michigan, I'll say that. Right. That's the thing too, like, that's not everyone's personality, and so, like, why would you have to, you know where is that? Jenison? I don't know where that is. Oh, Bay City. I have a great aunt and uncle who used to live in Bay City. They actually live in Rose City now. Okay. I have cousins that live over, uh, in Sparta and, I can't remember the town that the other one is in, but they're both over there. But I have not heard of Jenison before. Isn't that weird? Like, you live in a state, but you just still don't know. That's the truth too, Penny, and that's the other thing. I'm like, a wedding dress you wear one time. People spend thousands of dollars on a dress you literally wear one time. Like, we do the weirdest stuff, man. Why do we do some of the things we do? Oh my gosh. That's the thing too. Like, here, if you get married, like, on a Friday, it's quite a bit cheaper than on a Saturday. Um, and it's like, why not? Oh, cool. A lot of my friends' kids go to Saginaw Valley. That's cool. I know right where that's at. Okay. Oh. And I was trying to think. I don't even know what happened to those. I know what happened to my dress, but my shoes, not that they were anything I ever would have worn again. Um, but I don't know what happened to those. Oh, cool. Okay. Yep, definitely know those areas. That's cool. Yeah, but like my wedding dress, I was so sad. My mom and I went to pick out my wedding dress. So got my husband and I got engaged in March. I found out I was pregnant with my son in June. So I was 3 months pregnant when we went to pick out my wedding dress. And we picked one out off the rack, and, they said, "Yep, we'll be able to, if something needs to be let out a little bit or something." Because I was figuring like, "Okay, after I have him," like, because I was already starting to get a belly and stuff, so I was like, kinda have an idea of after I have him and have a little more weight on me and whatever. And I loved the dress so much. Well, then my mom went with me to all my dress fittings and stuff, and the very last one that I went to, she couldn't go with me, and I can't remember what the situation was. But when I got there, they were like, "I'm sorry, but the seamstress said the way like the beading is on the dress that she can't let it out, and it's so close. We're just gonna have to have you pick a different dress from the rack." So now I've had this dress the whole time. I based my flowers, everything off of it because it had beading that was done. It sounds ugly when I say it, but tulips. There was like beading that looked like tulips, like on the train of it and stuff. It was really pretty. And I'm like, okay, everything I based a lot of things around it kind of. And so then I'm by myself having to find a different dress. And so I found one that was whatever, okay. And so the back was sheer. So I'm like, okay, so they're putting like cups in it and stuff and like, yup, and whatever. When I went to pick up the dress, and this is my fault too, but I was 20 years old. Give me a break. Well, no, I was 21. I was just 21. Is there something you'd like to say?
You can finish real quick.
Oh, I went and picked up my dress. I should have looked at it before I left, but I didn't. I think it was the day before the wedding. And I don't know, honestly though, no, that was their fault. I don't know why they didn't have me try it on to make sure it was all fitted and stuff before they let me leave with it. That place actually ended up going out of business, so maybe that's not a big surprise. Um, but so the day of the wedding, I put it on, no cups in it. It was too big. So now I can't wear a bra with it because the back is all sheer and it's literally gaping. And so that was what my wedding dress was. So that was very disappointing, because that's like one of the biggest parts of your wedding, like getting your dress and feeling beautiful. And no, I did not feel beautiful.
Um, is it okay if I go to Jeff's house? We just want to play some Xbox or something. We're both bored.
Mm, I, mm,
Why not?
we'll talk about that later
Why not?
because
So no.
no. Um, I'm not very near there. No, Lisa, sorry. I just saw that. But I'm not super far, but not close either. 30 years ago. June 12th will be our 23-year wedding anniversary. Crazy. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's the thing though. Like if family can make it, swing it, and when you have a smaller group like that, it's a lot easier to, have the group be able to do it on a day that's not a typical, like a weekend or whatever. So that works awesome. Aw, Penny, that's so cute. Oh, that's awesome. See, that's the thing. The idea of like renting a dress to me, like if I had that stuff to do over, like if I was getting married now, I would totally be all about that. I'd be like, heck yeah, why? I'm gonna wear it one time. Like even for things like proms and homecomings and stuff like that, people spend so much money. Like I even think about my mom, we didn't have a ton of money and what she would, do to be able to take us. And then there was a family that had four girls and their oldest is like I think she's like 3 years older than me. And then they have a daughter who's a year older than me. Actually, our birthdays are the same day, a year apart. And then one a year younger than me and then one a couple years younger than her. And they so one year we borrowed, actually maybe twice we did this, borrowed dresses from them that they were like, do you want to use any of these dresses? And we went to the same school and stuff, but it was like obviously you were wearing it like if they wore it at homecoming, you might be wearing it at prom or something, but like no one would really notice that much. And so that was awesome to be able to do that. But yeah, because it's like you buy these things to wear one time, and it's such a waste of money. It's such a waste of money. You guys know me. My thrifty self, like that kind of stuff kills me. Like I can't stand to spend that kind of money on something. I'm already thinking about like for the dress that I'll wear to my son's wedding next year, and it's like maybe I can find something on Poshmark or I'm like, you better believe I'm going to be looking for something like that because I'm not going to go to some formal place and pay hundreds of dollars for a dress I'm going to wear one day. I'm just not going to do it. I don't have the kind of money to do that. I would rather give them that money toward their wedding, not for me to wear a dress for one day. Nobody's looking at me anyway. They're gonna be looking at that gorgeous girl up there who's the bride, like, so no. Yeah, little under 2K, that's awesome. That's I we were trying to my mom and stuff, we were talking about my wedding, trying to figure out how much money it was, and I wanna say it was around 5,000 when it was all said and done, which, of course, that was 23 years ago, so it's obviously things are different now, but, man, it's just, oh, the cost of things. No kidding, no kidding, Kat. Wow. I don't really know what I'm looking for. I haven't really started, I haven't thought about it too much yet, um, but yeah, like, I'm not like the well, I mean, you probably know that about me. I'm not like the matronly kind, like, I don't really like dresses that have like a sleeve. Like, um, actually, what I really like on me is like a more of like a halter style kind of a dress. Long or short would be fine. And I'm not real picky on colors either. Like, if something looks good, it looks good. But yeah, I don't wanna say that because I don't wanna be offensive to people who do like it, but it's not my taste to have, like, like, sleeved, like, beaded kind of stuff or, like, the little jacket kinda things that go over, and so that's just not me. Um, so, yeah, but no, I don't think so. I don't know, I don't know, because 'cause I'm not actually sure what her colors are yet that she told me. Not sure. I'll have to find out. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could ask her, like, is there something you would kinda like me to stick to? Like, whatever, because you don't want to be like, "Wow," some, like, crazy color that's really standing out or something. But oh, thank you so much, Penny. That's so super sweet. Yeah, not super frou-frou. Yeah, I'm not like, tons of lace and, that kind of stuff, which we laugh so hard. My, friend Jenny, her wedding picture every year when she puts like, for her anniversary and puts up her wedding picture, she had the well, for one thing, she had, like, the hair she's, like, 10 years older than me. So, she had, like, the really big hair and really big, like, poofy kind of, like it was like a crown thing, but with a big poofy, I don't know, with her veil. And then her sleeves on her dress were like these giant poofs. It's so dang funny. It's like it just swallows her up in all this poof. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it so much. Oh yeah. More of a leather and chains and frou. Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite that to that end, but I totally know what you mean. Yeah, for sure. That's so funny. That's the thing too. It's like you can appreciate other people's tastes or you know what I mean, like their fashion or style sense or whatever without it being yours. You know what I mean? Like definitely there's things that I'll see on people and I'm like, that looks so nice on her. I don't want to wear it, but it looks nice on her. You know what I mean? So that's I always hate though, because it's like you don't want people to be offended, like you're saying, like, oh, that's ugly. I would never wear that. Like, no, I might never wear it, but it doesn't mean that it's ugly. It's just not my style. I'm sure there's things that I wear that people are like, what is she doing? And I'm like, I'm over here living my life, being happy, mind your business. No, I'm just kidding. Sort of. Um, so right now I wear like a 4. Um, some things I can wear 6. I'm hoping to be back to the 2 range, but we'll see. Like I'm I'm working on stuff, but thank you so much for being here, Lisa. It was really nice to have you. We're those Michiganders up here. It's gonna turn summer next week for me here, so Yes, Sue, exactly. Like, you know exactly what era of, like, she got married in because it's so hilarious. A horrible mint bridesmaid dress. That is a style I don't like on me, is the, handkerchief hem style. I think because I'm so short or something, it does like, dresses kinda have to hit me in a certain spot on my legs, or it looks very weird on me. Because my legs are thick too, so they look very stumpy if, things don't hit kinda, like, above the knee. So, like, they either need to be long or, like, above the knee. Otherwise, it looks funky on me because I got these super short legs. Awesome. That would be great. Yeah, like, I've been yeah, I was trying to think, has it been I think this is the 11th week of working out steadily, like 5 days a week. And I feel so much better. Like, I can definitely tell things have changed. They're not changing as fast as I want them to, but I also think that's just a lot of that is my impatience, my wanting to see things change really fast. But I also know that that's not the kind of um, change that lasts. And I am looking to build muscle and, um, so that my body's working for me even when I'm not working out, kind of thing and stuff. So I definitely am like, I can see it definitely like my shoulders and stuff. Um, I am definitely changing, like my body's changing. So I'm excited about that. It's not happening as fast as I want it to. But like I said, realistically, that's not where lasting change happens either. If it's fast, it usually doesn't last. Oh, look at me go. If it's fast, it usually doesn't last. I'm sure I'm the first person who's ever said that. um, but yeah, I really want to just get myself in good shape and feel stronger and oh yay, thank you so much. Kat, you have no idea what that means to me. Like, I'm starting to see things and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, I never had that before," and stuff. But my hardest part is I'm gaining a lot of muscle, but I still have so much fat around it, and it's driving me nuts. I'm like, "Oh, my arms would look bomb if I didn't have all that," you know? So, I'm trying. I mean, I'm definitely seeing change. You have oh my gosh, you just made my whole day, Kat. Seriously, I could cry. Like, I have been working hard, but I'm loving it. Like, it's not like I'm like, "Ugh, I have to work out." I never feel like that. It's like the days where that are rest days feel weird to me. Like, I'm like, "Oh, it feels weird to not." I mean, I can still do something active, but I mean to not be doing like the any kind of weight type stuff, which I'm just doing like dumbbells and stuff. But there's things now like I'm rowing 40-pound dumbbells. I never thought I would be able to do that. Like, what? Who am I? Like, I mean, I used to be like a 10-pound was like killing my arm. Like, I mean, seriously, I've had terrible upper body strength. And so it's just and I had to take a few days off when I got my tattoo, and then I just had a migraine Sunday and Monday, so I missed, working out a day there, because Sunday's a rest day, but so I missed Monday, and, but today was supposed to be no, yesterday was supposed to be a rest day, so I did Tuesday and today, um, but, like, it's like I'm working hard, I'm enjoying it, but it's like I wanna be able to see stuff happening too, like, I wanna yeah, so that makes me feel so good that you can see that happening to my body. So yay from another, well, not another, from a girl who's like in amazing shape and everything. That makes me so excited. So thank you. Kate or Sue. I'm laughing about what you said about Kate. Don't hold back on how you truly feel. Aw. That's a hard thing too. Like if a bride picks something that you hate, it's like you kind of just have to deal with it, right? Mhm. And that's the thing too. I kind of like when a bride does like, okay, this is the color, but you can pick like the style that looks best on you, but they're all the same color. So like the bridesmaids might have completely different dresses, but the color's the same. So it still looks uniform because it's hard. Like if you are a very like, busty person and somebody picks like a strapless dress that gives you no support and like, whatever, like that's uncomfortable, and sometimes it doesn't look very flattering and stuff, and so, like, that's a bummer. On the same token, if you're super small chested and somebody picks something that is more like kind of like a cleavage showing, then that makes you uncomfortable because it's like, okay, well, this does not really flatter my shape. So I like that people do that with the dresses where it's like because usually your bridal party are not all the same shape person. And so it's kind of I think that's cool that people do that because even my wedding, the girls all had the same dress, but originally we were looking at a strapless dress, but I had two people in my wedding who were very large chested, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to do that to them. Like they need some kind of strap. So it was just spaghetti strap, like their dresses were, but just to give them some kind of support because I knew it wouldn't be comfortable, and I don't want them to be uncomfortable. Oh, good. Okay, so it is giving you more energy, so that's good. Definitely good. Yeah, cat. That's I like that. Well, and it's funny because I was huge pregnant. My friend got married in December, and I was due with my son in February. And she wanted me at her wedding, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." Well, she ended up doing, her wedding wasn't super fancy and stuff. It was nice, but it wasn't, like, super fancy, but she basically said, "Everyone wear something navy." So, like, the girls in the bridal party wore navy. So I actually wore, like a pantsuit kind of outfit, um, and that worked out a lot better for me because just with my big old prego belly, because I was big. And so that worked out well. Because at first I was like, oh my gosh, like you're gonna put me in a dress. I'm gonna be this gigantic, like, I mean, I'm short and I had gained a lot of weight when I was pregnant with my son, my first son. And so it was like, holy cow. Well, I shouldn't say that. I gained I gained 30 pounds when I was pregnant with him, but I'm so short that it was like, you know, I spread out everywhere. I wasn't like just a cute little ball in the front belly. That's not how my body does things. It's like, girl, you're going everywhere. Isn't it so frustrating, Kate? I feel like so that kept happening to me when I was first starting like this workout, journey and kind of doing something different than I've ever done before. And I swear it was like I got a migraine, like, which was probably like neck related because I have to be very careful about that. And then there's something else happened. And it was like, I'm like, seriously, I'm trying to do something good for myself. And then I have like these dumb things thrown in that, whatever, which I have to say I've gotten a lot better about because I had not missed any workouts until I got the tattoo. And then I knew I had to take some days off because I couldn't be working out with this brand new, fresh, thing. And he told me just take a few days, whatever. And that was on Sunday. And he said, yeah, by Wednesday, you should be good to work out. So that is what I did. And then, but then I got this migraine and I was like, you know what? I've been doing great. This is not going to set me back if I have a couple days where I can't work out like that, and I think that's part of it too with this particular journey for me that feels different from anything I've ever done before because I'm being realistic with myself. I'm not beating myself down if I have a day like I said, yesterday and today were killer when I did my workouts. It was like I just did not have the strength and the energy that I have been having. And it doesn't make sense to be upset with myself about it. I'm like, I still did the workout. I still busted my butt. It's just, yeah, maybe I wasn't able to lift as much as I normally can or as many times or whatever. But like okay, I still was doing it, like, I'm still, and so my body was just exhausted from a couple days of migraine. I'll get back into it, kind of thing and stuff. So I feel like I'm in a much healthier headspace as far as like for what I'm doing for my body. It's not about, I don't give a rip about the scale whatsoever. So that I haven't been even paying attention to. Um, I mean, I was excited. I shouldn't say I haven't paid attention to it, but I haven't been giving it too much attention because I weighed myself the day I went to get my tattoo, and I had hit my first like kind of goal as far as weight goes. Um, and like I said, I'm not really placing that much on weight, but still, it was good to see the number that I saw, so I was excited about that. But also, I'm gaining muscle, so I know I'm not going to see like drastic drop in the scale. That's not how it works. And so that has been huge for me because always in the past, the scale has been the thing that I'm like I weigh myself constantly. I'd be like, oh my gosh, like nothing's happening, or I gained a pound back here, or whatever. I've not like I don't care about that at all. And I can feel my body changing. I can feel muscles in places. I can see them in some places. And so yeah, it's just a lot different. And the way I'm eating, like I enjoy the way I'm eating. Um Realizing how many things I wasn't getting in my diet that, like, I should have been, and I think it definitely like, I feel better and stuff, so, like, it's just been a really it's I'm really enjoying this journey and excited to see where it takes me, and, like, the reality of the more I, research about it and stuff like that, realizing that, like, probably the first time I'll really see a lot of progress will be, like, 6 months, and that's okay, like, I don't have like these weird expectations for myself about like by this time I need to have this, meet this goal. I'm not doing that. And it's like it gives me a totally different freedom. And it actually makes me want to do it more than feeling like I have like this strict timeline that I put on myself. So yeah, I'm really, really excited in case you can't tell. But oh yeah. Yeah, if your ribs don't move, because we know those babies love to get up under your ribs. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, Kate, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. That's awesome. Uh, I guess the only thing that I do have a hard time with is like I'll look at some people, like look at progress pictures, and I'm not comparing myself to those people because we're all different and our bodies do different things at different times. The only thing I am struggling with a little bit is I feel like there's probably something I could be doing that would be helping me see results a little bit faster or like more results. I'm just not sure what that is that I need to tweak. And so I think one of the things I was eating too few calories, I'm pretty sure. Because once I started researching into it, I was like, So that I've kind of changed that. And so that feels better too. I wasn't hungry. It's not like I was like feeling like I wasn't getting enough food or anything, but just realizing what I'm having my body do physically, I was not fueling it properly. And so stuff like that. One of the hardest things for me is drinking enough water. So I've really been pushing myself with that and stuff like that. So yeah, I would love this problem is and like I get it. It's a job that people make money from, being a trainer and stuff, but it's like I wish like you didn't have to pay to know how to do things right to get your body in good shape. You know what I mean? And that's like really what I'm running into is like I can only do as much research as I can and try to mess with stuff on my own where I feel like if I had somebody who was like, "Okay, this is the program I want you to stick to, and we'll see what's happening, and then we'll tweak this." Like, that would make it so much easier, but I don't have it in my budget, in my lifestyle to be able to pay somebody to do that. And so, it's frustrating to me because 'cause I'm like, I feel like that's not something you should have to pay for. Like, I feel like that kind of information, but you still need somebody who's guiding you, so I get it. That's their time that they're putting into. So, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's, like, so frustrating because 'cause I'm like, if I had somebody who was doing this with me and telling me, I'd do what they're saying. Like, I'm not gonna be like, that doesn't really sound like what I want to do. Like I'm in this, you know. Um, but so I kind of just have to keep doing what I'm doing because I am seeing results, just very slowly, but that's okay. And I'm moving in the right direction. I know I'm doing stuff that's good for me. So, ugh, yeah. Oh, I can picture that feeling too. Ugh. Ooh, penny. Yeah, you need to be eating because that's the thing too. Your body then just holds everything. Your body's in starvation mode all the time. Like it's like don't let go of any fat or anything because we need this to survive. So like that's one of the things too, like realizing like our bodies don't want us to lose weight. Like our bodies are very smart and adapt very well. I'm learning a lot of stuff. It's really cool. It's very interesting. Um, and just, I don't know, but like, yeah, it's like I just wish that there was somebody who would take me on as a project. Some like nutritionist, um, trainer type person who would be like, I'm going to make you my project and help you with this, and you don't have to pay for it. So if anybody comes across someone like that, let them know about me, okay? Yeah, it's like I don't know. Oh, to be rich. No, I'm just kidding. I don't actually want to be rich, but that brings, different issues, right? I'm thankful that I have a body that I'm able to do physical things and push it and see like things that I'm capable of that I did not realize that I was and things like that. I never really understood it before when like they're, talk about engaging your core when you're working out. Now I can feel it. And I'm like, whoa, like all the years that I've worked out and done different stuff and like I never knew what they actually felt like. And like I don't know, it's so cool. Some of the things that I can do with my body, I'm like, "Holy cow, I'm a boss." Like, I mean, not really, but, it makes you feel like, I don't know, it's really cool. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, well, and, like, I wasn't eating anything before I would work out, and then I would do a protein shake after. But then I was watching some things about eating, like, some carb stuff before you work out, and, and then so that those are some of the things I've kind of been playing with, tweaking, trying to see if that, makes a difference kinda in me and stuff, because I am definitely a person I am not hungry when I get up in the morning. That is not I've had it actually a couple times since I've been on this journey where I've woken up in the morning and been like, "Oh, I'm so hungry," which is so not me. So if I feel that way, I eat because I'm like, "Okay, well, my body's telling me it's hungry," like, because it's not something I typically so like, stuff like that. I track everything that I eat in my Fitness Pal. I'm trying to keep my macros like a 40% protein, 30% carb, 30% fat. Which then I'm like, maybe I need to tweak that a little bit. Like just some different things to talk about trying to eat like zero point 0.7 or zero point 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per like your body weight in a day. That's hard to do. I have a hard time getting that much protein. And yeah, so, like, stuff like that, but, like, we eat so much better, like, the way we cook, and, I still if there's something I really want, I make sure that I figure it in for the day so that, like, I can have that thing and not feel like I'm depriving myself, you know what I mean? Or, like, there's certain things that are non-negotiables for me. Once a month, we go out to eat with my friends. I'm gonna eat what I want when we go out because if I'm eating this way all the rest of the time, that is not going to affect me negatively. And so, in fact, it's healthy for me, like, it's, mentally healthy for me to know, like, I can go out and enjoy this time with my friends and have a meal that's, like, a splurge for me because I've been I the rest of the time. And when I get back home, I'm going to go back to it because I enjoy what I'm doing right now. So I don't feel deprived in any kind of way. I've found foods that like I love and like crave. Like I love plain Greek yogurt. Like I love it. And there's this keto uh granola from Sam's Club, and it's birthday cake, which when my husband brought it home, I was like, "Ooh, I hate birthday cake flavored stuff. I hate it. Ugh." And, so I was like, but it's not that flavor at all, and it's got, like, pumpkin seeds in it and just all sorts of different stuff, and it's so good mixed with, like, the plain Greek yogurt. To me, it's like a treat, and, like but that plain Greek yogurt has, like, a ton of protein, and so, like, finding stuff like that that I actually really enjoy eating and get, like, excited about, like, having and stuff, so, like, yeah, definitely, just enjoying stuff. Or like the other night when we were celebrating my son, getting his first sale or whatever, I ate some pizza because I'm celebrating with my family. And then the next day I just go right back to normal. So it's a rare thing, but like I let myself do it. And so that's been huge too. And it doesn't make me fall off in any kind of way. Like I'm not like, oh, now I just want to eat. Like I don't feel like that at all. So, yes. Like, I will be your experimental guinea pig. Just tell me what to do. You're a fascinating case. Oh, that's good, Kate. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I'm like, excited to like I love we have a Blackstone like griddle. And so in the summer to make stuff like, doing grilled veggies on it and chicken and stuff. I like to marinate the stuff in like some kind of dressing. Actually, there's something I could not find it the other day when I was at the store. I'm like, "What the heck?" It's called Garlic Sensations, and it's so dang good. And so usually I marinate like chicken and vegetables and stuff in it overnight, and then we'll throw those like on the griddle like that, and it's so good. But that kind of stuff we eat like a lot of that kind of stuff in the summer and stuff anyway. So like those are things that they're easy and they're good and whatever. So like I'm excited to start eating some of that. Oh, yeah. I'm always cooking or baking something, nothing healthy either. I know, it's hard. See, Penny, maybe that is, like, something I can be thankful that I'm not a good cook or, baker because I don't have that problem. Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be interesting for, people in the medical field to be able to look at all that. Oh yeah. Oh, I love, like, shawarma. So good. Oh, yeah, Penny, that would be hard. Like, when you can bake really good stuff like that, it would be hard not to, and, I mean, if you're gonna make it, you're gonna eat it, right? For sure. I had mentioned we did, HelloFresh for, like, a week, and, they send you the recipes, so we have made well, I shouldn't say we, my husband has made, several times the burgers from, like, the recipe that we got, and just, like, yeah, I think I mentioned this before. It's like ketchup and mayo and like Old Bay seasoning and stuff like that. You make the sauce. It's so good, and I just factor that all into my stuff, and like with grilled onions and stuff. Oh my gosh, it's like the flavors, like the way they meld together. Amazing. We actually had it last night again. Um, so good. Kate, I hear you on that. It's funny, I'm not a huge, dessert person. I like dessert, but it's not I like light desserts. Like, oh my gosh, at my, friend Jenny, her daughter's bridal shower on Saturday, I was like, those cupcakes were divine. Like, they were lemon cupcakes. Lemon is, like, my favorite, like, dessert kinda thing. these lemon cupcakes. They were the lightest, fluffiest, like, incredible cupcakes, and it had, like, this pink frosting, but it wasn't super sweet, and then, it had, like, a little raspberry and a little I don't know if it was a lemon wafer straw or if it was vanilla. I feel like it tasted lemon, though, so it might have been lemon. They were, like, the best cupcakes. I'm like, "That was amazing," and she's like, "Oh, I made those." I was like, "Excuse me, what?" Like, I should have known because she's an amazing cook and baker and everything too. Um, but I was like, "Oh," like, I might have to commission her to make some of those for something because it was so good. I'm trying to think of what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. We talked about I think we're gonna do, like, chicken parmesan, but we do, like, air fryer. I won't have pasta, the kids will have pasta, but, I'll probably have, like, cauliflower rice or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, penny, I totally get that, like, it's here, it's easily accessible. Kate, that's cool. There's actually a lady who does that and brings in every week to the school, and brings to like the offices and stuff, brownies and cookies and stuff like that. And that same thing. She just loves to do it. It's like a release kind of thing for her. And so that's cool. Yeah, well, that's perfect. That's same with her. She's like, she enjoys the process of baking, but she doesn't want that all at home because she doesn't want to eat it. So then she gets to bless other people with it. That's perfect. Like that makes it even better, doesn't it? That's the cool thing about food. It's such a love language for a lot of people as far as to be able to make food for people or people receiving food. Like you feel special, like someone made this for me. Lemon is strawberry shortcake is one something that I love. Not with biscuits though. I like it with like the angel food cake. Um, and lemon stuff. Oh, so I like light, like strawberry kind of things or pineapple. Not pineapple upside down cake though. I don't really like that. But just yeah, like light fruity flavored desserts are kind of like my like strawberry poke cake that you do like with the jello. Oh, yeah, for sure, Kate. That's the thing. You have to let yourself have those things and enjoy those things because if you don't, then it gets where you're like it's like mentally unhealthy, like where you feel like you're depriving yourself of things that you enjoy and like forget this. I'd rather enjoy my life than do this. And so that's why I feel like the way I've been doing things, I don't have that feeling. And that's what's going to make the success happen because it's not that feeling of like I can't even enjoy stuff, you know? Yep, Penny. I totally understand that. Ooh, you can send me lemon cookies, yeah. I will not argue with you on that one. Yeah, maybe frou-frou. I just like light. Not that I don't love chocolate, like German chocolate cake. I feel like I have like a white line, but it's not. It's just the way the light is shining. Because I keep being like, ew, I didn't even put anything on my lips. I should do that. Weird. Um. Anyway, German chocolate cake is one of my favorite. Like, it's so good. But like, typically I can't do really heavy like things that are rich. I can eat like a very small amount of. My husband, he can just shovel it in like there's no tomorrow. But yeah, I can't. So I like the light desserts, especially in the summer. Like, oh, Kate, that sounds so good. I love salmon. So good. Yes, and quick and easy. Agreed. Those are my favorite meals. Yeah, heavy desserts, things that are just really dense. Like I should like sometimes I like it, like to have like a molten lava cake with like but I want the ice cream with it too, like to balance it. You know what I'm saying? But like but those are not my first thoughts when I'm like if somebody said what kind of dessert would you like, whatever, that wouldn't be my thing. Yeah. Oh, like, I'm not kidding, it makes me sick to watch them sometimes. I'm like, "How can you, like, keep eating that?" Ugh. Okay, so when you say puddings, what does that mean? Because like, pudding here is, like, I don't I don't know, like, I don't know how to like, I don't think pudding there is the same as pudding is here. Ooh, yeah, penny, that would be good. Yes, I love lemon meringue. Delicious. So pudding is just dessert in general? Like, that's what I was wondering because 'cause I'm like, I know it's not pudding like what pudding is to us. Like, pudding is just, how would you even describe it? Like, just a creamy something in a bowl. Like, all I can think of is, like, Jello pudding when I think pudding. Right. Okay, so pudding is just dessert. That's what I kinda thought that was what it was, but okay. Isn't it funny? I always think that's so weird. Not weird that you call just at different places, like, okay, like, pudding is a dessert here, but okay, this is what it reminds me of. Like, people in the South call all kinds of pop or soda Coke, and, like, no, it's not Coke. Like, Coke is a certain soda, but it's not like all these other things.
So 15 years past due on that one.
I guess
That's
so.
quite an exciting title there.
Yeah, what the metric system is?
That's the kind of stuff you checked out when you were a senior in high school. You're pretty lame.
Look at how bad my signature was. I can't even talk. My signature. Oh my gosh. This is hilarious. My husband just brought me a library card from that I signed. This is October 22nd, 1996. I graduated in 96. Well, wait, how can that be right?
That's a good question. That would be the due date. So that must, I don't know.
Like we graduated in June of 96. So how could, or May?
Is there one up above that? Maybe you were the. That's just on his, right? So.
Oh, I didn't. And I just realized who that is.
Yeah.
And the guy above me is dead. Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, so I don't know when you checked that out.
No. Yeah, and we're the only two people between 1988 and 1996 who
Yeah.
checked out this book.
Yeah.
The metric system. That does not sound like something I would check out. I feel like this is a farce.
That is your signature.
No, I think someone forged it.
Like a
Yes, Kate, our pudding is like custard, kind of. Yeah. Not as thick, but yeah. Penny said it. I'm answering and what Penny already said. More liquid. See, I love stuff like this though. Like it's interesting. Like that we call the stuff because then you see where like confusion comes in on stuff because people are like, well, what? Like chips to you is fries to us, and our chips are what you call crisps. So like it's just funny, like once you know the different lingo that people, or whatever, like the words that we use in different places, then it's like you know what you're talking about when you're saying stuff. But at first, I'm like, what? Like okay. Somebody took over your body. Yeah, like is Jello jiggly? Jello squares? that you can pick up, which we would call jigglers here. You are making me hungry though now, talking about all this. I do like pudding, pistachio pudding. I really like. And again, though, pistachio is a lighter flavor. Like, I mean, I love chocolate pudding too. Don't get me wrong, but yes, Kate, we have definitely learned that. It cracks me up every time. Oh my gosh, so dang funny. Ooh, lemon curd, that's good. So funny. Whipple wapple on a plate. What? What's that? It's so funny. Uh, Jello jigglers. And like it cracks me up sometimes and stuff. I hate like slang stuff that comes out. I'm like, no, people can't just make up some stupid word and say it means this and like we're all supposed to go along with it. No, I don't think so. Like I cannot stand like some of the, you know what I mean? Like um just things that become popular like through TikTok or whatever kind of stuff. I'm like, that is the dumbest thing. Like, why are people so dumb? And like we go along with these stupid things that people come up with. Yes, I do love that penny. That's the thing. I think it's super fun. And like I was saying, like once you know some of the things, it's like, oh, okay, they're talking about chips or what chips are to me. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But like, and I learned a lot of that actually from watching Lucy Pert because I started watching her years ago and stuff with her girls, and she would do food shop, which we would call grocery shopping. And so she would do like hauls and say with different like talk about the different stuff she bought. And I'm like, oh, oh, like, when she would say different stuff, I'm like, okay. Like otherwise, if she had just said it and didn't show it, I would have no idea what she was talking about. Yes. Oh my gosh, Penny. Oh my gosh. My youngest son used to say that. I'm so glad he stopped doing that a long time ago, like a couple years ago, but that used to drive me nuts. Jelly goes, oh, okay. Okay. Wibble out wobble on a plate. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So Jello here. But Jello is a brand, but we call all gelatin Jello. That's actually just a brand. It's like most of us, well, I shouldn't say most of us, most people I know call tissues Kleenex. Kleenex is actually a brand, but people don't say, "Oh, can I get a tissue?" We say, "Can you get me a Kleenex?" or something. Like sometimes things are like a brand, but it's like the most popular brand of something, and so that kind of becomes like the word for that particular thing. Like I literally have never asked someone for a tissue. Yeah, it's gelatin, but we call it Jello. Oh, Jello and ice cream. I've seen Jello and whipped cream, but not Jello and ice cream. That's interesting. That's the thing too, like other places eat different things together that it's like, I wonder why no one here does that, or why don't you eat this together like we do? Or you know what I mean? It's just funny. I love when people say lollies. Like, isn't it usually suckers? Or is it any like hard candy? Because that like cracks me. Lollies, like that to me is like the cutest freaking thing. Like, I don't know why, but I just love it. Oh, okay. I probably told you guys this before, but oh my gosh, my sister, who's a teacher, she would do these really fun like things with her students, like at the end of the year kind of thing. And so there was a show called Minute to Win It. And it was like just these different little challenge things you would do. Like one of them would be like you start with a cookie, like an Oreo on your forehead, and you have to like move your face around and get it down to your mouth. And like whoever could get it in their mouth fastest without dropping, like if you dropped it, you had to start over kind of thing, which I won that at a church thing one day. I was real proud of myself. Like against the kids, I was like, I just killed this. They were high school kids, so it wasn't little kids. Okay. They should have been better than me, but I was better than them. No, but it was really fun. But, so you would do all these just weird like challenge things. And sometimes it was with food and whatever. So there was one and it was something with Jello, like eating. I think it was like who could eat the most Jello, like the fastest or whatever. So she thought it would be funny because gelatin, like you can get just plain gelatin to put in different things to thicken it. So it doesn't have flavor. So gross. And so she was like, I'm totally just doing this clear gelatin, right? And so she used the big baking trays at the school to make it. Well, they had made fish sticks on it. Was like the last things that they had made. So the gelatin tasted like fish. And she said everyone was gagging really bad trying to do it. I laughed so hard. I probably would have thrown up. Like, how gross. And I mean, I like fish, but I don't want gelatin that tastes like fish. And she, like, I almost peed my pants when she was telling me about it because I thought that was the funniest thing ever. She's like, the kids were like, oh my gosh, you're so mean. Whatever, but they're laughing. But she's like, no, really, I was just thinking it was funny to do like the non-flavored gelatin, but didn't realize it was going to taste like fish because of the pans. But I'm like, oh my gosh, it'd be so gross. Oh, bye, Penny. I'm so sorry. I love you. Have a good day. Sweeties are what we call candy. Okay. A lolly is a lolly. I think that's a sucker, right? So it's like a hard candy on a stick, right? What do you mean by lolly when you say that, Kate? Yeah, fish jello. I like cracked up because I'm like, that would have been so nasty. There's no way I could have done that. No way. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, okay, because like when we would watch the regular show, I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's like a cartoon. And there's like Pops, who is this old like British guy or something, and he would say about a lolly, and it was always what we call a sucker. So it was like a hard candy on a stick. Okay. So that's why I was like, I thought that was what it meant, but or what you guys. Lolly sounds much cuter than a sucker. Like, because you suck on it, I guess. Like, weird. Actually, you're the sucker when you're eating it. Like, it's not a sucker. It's not sucking anything. You're the sucker. You could call it the sucky, but that's weird. And I hate when people call pacifiers suckies. Ugh. Or passies. It's a pacifier. Just call it a pacifier. But I definitely know people who call it a sucky. And I don't appreciate that. I just don't. Sorry. Okay, so trifle, that is the layered desserts, right? So usually they're in kind of like a glass kind of bowl thing. And it's layered, like, isn't it usually kind of like pieces of cake and maybe like fruit or pudding, or like people do it different types of stuff? At least that's what I know it to be. That's what's fun about this, finding out, like, is it the same thing that I think it is? A dummy. That's funny. Yeah, yep, that's same with us, Kate. Like, Jello that you would buy and make to eat is flavored, but then there's the unflavored to thicken things. That's so funny, a dummy. I'm like, why? I get pacifier because you're pacifying the baby, like that it's pacifying them, so it's a pacifier. I get that. But dummy, I don't get. Okay, so I was right about a trifle. Okay. Those are good. I've only had it, like, maybe 2 or 3 times, and they were different, the ones I had. I feel like one had, like, strawberries and stuff in it, but diapers are nappies, I have heard that. Oh, my husband's aunt says diaper. It makes me insane, like, insane. Actually, the kids brought it up one time. They're like, "Why does she say diaper?" And I'm like, "I get that, like, that's how it's spelled, but no one says that. Like, everyone says diaper. Like, you kinda just pretend the A is not even there." But she doesn't. She says diaper, and no, mm-mm, mm-mm. Can you tell I have a thing with words? I think I've mentioned this before. There are certain words that just make me, like, wanna lose my mind. There was something the other day, my husband and I, we were watching something on TV, and they said the word, and I'm like, "I do not like that word," and he just started laughing. I'm like, I don't know, there's just certain things that I'm like, "Mm-mm." Yes, we do call a dummy, like, yeah, like a ventriloquist dummy or something like, or a dummy in a store. Well, also like a mannequin, I guess that would be in a store, but a dummy is like a replica of a person. Yes, we do say that too. Oh my gosh, Kate, like I would lose my mind. Yes, yes. It's like, no. And the thing that drives me crazy, like I get like why someone might pronounce something like diaper, okay? Because it maybe probably technically is, but nobody says that. Let's just not do that. But it's because it's actually spelled that way. However, when people pronounce something so weird, where I'm like, you've seen this word a million times in your life. I know you have. Why are you saying it like that? Because it's clearly nothing like that. Like there ain't nobody who hasn't seen the word COVID, okay? So, like, what is your excuse? Like, no. It's so funny. It's like my one does my grandma say it? Somebody in my family says onion, like with a G in onion. I'm like, when have you ever seen the word onion have a G in it? Or heard anyone else pronounce it like that, you know? Like, oh my gosh. Worst one ever though was a girl I worked with, and she, instead of potato, said batata. Batata. Where in the world did you get that from? Like, there's no planet that calls that a potato. Like, no. Oh, I couldn't stand it. Drove me insane. She worked at a school. I'm like, you're teaching kids. She would read to kids and say potato. I'm like, you are looking at the word in this book and saying that like that. And the kids are just kind of look at her. Like you could see that they're like sort of confused because nobody knows what a potato is. Because it's nothing. It's not a thing. I know, Kate. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way you haven't seen this word, right? Like, I mean, everyone has seen the word. So you know there is no G in there. Ugh. Koala bear? Wait a minute. Okay, wait. You mean instead of just a koala? Like when they say bear on the end? Is that what you mean bugs you? And teddy. What's a teddy? Like a teddy bear? Is that what you mean? Like people say a teddy? Like we call them teddy bears. Like Teddy. Okay, okay. So it's a koala. It's not a koala bear. I get what you're saying. I thought that was what you meant, but I was like, or am I saying koala wrong? Like, I am not above being like, "Oh, I say that wrong." Like, I mean, people say stuff wrong, you know what I mean? But, like, if somebody told me and, like, that's not how you pronounce it, it's this, then I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, okay, I don't wanna walk around sounding like an idiot saying something that's totally wrong. it drives me nuts when people like refuse to believe that they might not know what they're talking about. Like, okay, well then just keep walking around saying it and sounding dumb then. If that's really what you want to do. It's not my favorite thing to sound dumb. Oh, Teddy potato. I got stuck on the bear thing, and so then I was like, Teddy, what neat or turnip? Is it Taddy or Tatey? Well, I guess it's Taddy the way you have it spelled. Like, or people will say taters about potatoes. Taters. I'm not big on that. Although my husband did get me a really cute birthday card, and there's like different vegetables on the front saying like, "What's your birthday? Celebrate, have fun." And there's a potato, and it's like big deal or something. And then on the inside it said "Tater's gonna hate," and so it's cute. But I don't call potatoes taters, but it's cute. Haggis, neeps, and tatties. Haggis. That's like what is that? Is that like sheep stomach or something? I know I've seen that on something before. And I am weird about food. Like there are foods that I'm like, I can't do it. I'm not a picky eater, but there are certain things that I'm like, no. A lot of it being like a texture issue. That's funny. Like I picture like a snap and then like mushiness, and that makes me feel ill. But I obviously have no idea what it tastes like because I've never had it. But I have had Vegemite, and that is gross. I don't care what you say. No, it's gross to me. It doesn't mean it's gross. It's gross to me. Like, I don't like the way it tastes, but it's like me with cooked mushrooms. Like, they to me are like one of the most detestable foods that there are. So many people love them. So obviously, it's not like they're gross. They're just gross to me, you know? That's the thing too. It drives me nuts when people take stuff like that, like, personally and get, like, defensive about it. It's like, it's a food, like, you can like whatever you want. But also, I don't like when people act like things are a fact because it's the way they feel about it. Like, no, that's your opinion. Like, you don't like it, but it doesn't mean it's nasty. Like, might be nasty to you, but it's not nasty. But some people get, like, so angry about stuff like that, and I'm like, "Okay." People take stuff way too seriously. Liver, heart, and lungs of a sheep. No, absolutely not, Kate. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't feel like that ever needs to come near my mouth. Now, am I saying that if I was, like, with you and you had it, that I wouldn't try it? No, I would try it, but I can't imagine liking it. Okay. Sue and her jar of Vegemite. Into, like we talked about, like, things that you grow up on and are used to. People who aren't used to that and taste are like, "Why would you like this?" You know what I mean? And, like, I get it, like, it's just, because I think I've said before, my husband has talked about that they would put sour cream and brown sugar on toast or something, or bread or toast, I don't know. But I'm like, "No." Like, don't even come near me with that. Like, I have no use for that. Okay. So it's not in sheep's stomach anymore. See, I've got inaccurate information. Well, it used to be, so I guess I wasn't totally off. I'm like, I know I heard about that somewhere. Yeah, so I totally get that, like, I know, I love that. Or even the way people make certain things, like, can be completely different. Like, what's chili to me is not chili at all to somebody else. Like, the way my mother-in-law makes chili is like soup to me. Chili to me is thick and, like, hearty. For her, it's liquidy and thin, and, like, it doesn't make it wrong, it's just different. Like, that's not, in my mind, what chili is. Like, if I'm thinking I'm gonna have chili, I'm thinking I'm having, like, this thick, like, whatever. So a lot of things, it's just the way, like, you grew up making it or your family did or whatever, and, like, doesn't mean, like, it's bad or whatever if it's different, it's just different. It is funny though when you're expecting a certain thing and then you're like, "Wait a minute, like, this is not." Because I remember the first time I had, actually, I don't think I've had chili very often, maybe, like, twice in the time we've been married that his mom made, but she likes spicy stuff, and so there's been times where she's put things in that I can't even eat it because it's way too spicy. Um, but the first time I remember having chili with her, I was like, "This isn't chili, this is soup." I didn't say that, but, like, in my mind, like, I was like, "This is not chili," and whatever, which my husband's like, I mean, I liked it, but I like he likes, like, the hearty chili that I make more. Um, but yeah, it's just a matter of preference, it's not. Yeah. I'm like, "There's a lot of soups, but chili is something different." It's just for sure. But same with, like, you can get like a potato soup somewhere, and some places it's really thick and creamy, and other places it's more liquidy. So it's really just how people make it. But I do prefer, like, the thicker of that kinda stuff. Oh, that's such a bummer, Kate. Ah, that stinks. I hate stuff like that, and I hate, like, it's so hard to, like, I hate waste, like, wasting stuff, like, that bugs me, but I'm also the kind of person, if there is even a little bit of something in me that thinks it might not be quite right, I'm not risking it. I'm really big like that with, like, dairy type products and stuff. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Like, well, I don't drink milk anyway, I've never liked milk. And, but, like, and I hate, like, if somebody's like, "Smell this and see if it smells bad." And yeah, it does because it always smells bad to me. I'm like, "Don't have me smell that. I'm not a milk drinker." But you can tell, like, a lot of times when something, and I'm like, "Okay, if you're asking me, you probably already know the answer. Like, if you think something doesn't seem quite right, it's probably not." Um, but I'm really weird, like, with meat and stuff, like, the way it's cooked, like, I cannot do anything even remotely rare. I can't stand medium, like, I want my meat well done, and, like, if it's pink, don't bring it to me. I just cannot, there is a major texture thing with it, and it does taste different, um, and I cannot do it. But anything that seems, like, a little off, like, I'm really weird, like, with lunch meat a lot of times too and stuff, where I'm like, I don't know about that." Like, so I like to try to, like, get stuff eaten while I know it's still good so that I don't have that issue, because I cannot, like, some people are cool with, um just cutting off a part that's bad or something. Absolutely not. Like, no, and the whole thing's going. Oh, chili with grated cheese? Yes. Yummy. I like to put, not always, but sometimes we put sour cream in, like, a little dollop of sour cream and mix it in too. What, like, I used to love, I had it one day, because I was like, "You know what? I haven't had this in forever." And, like, I always just like the idea of strawberry milk, like, I remember having it as a kid and loving it. And then I got it, like, a year ago, and I was like, it wasn't what I, like, had hoped it would be." I don't know, maybe it's different. It might have been a different brand and stuff too, but yeah, Kate, that too. There's a lot of different ways that you can tell that
Yeah,
things are
so I think
not
I'd need
quite
to
right.
30
I'm
or
like,
nothing like that.
no thanks. You're lying. My husband and son like to come in the house talking some nonsense, like they think I'm gonna believe it. Like when Asher had his driving test on Saturday and they come in and he's like, "It's too bad you hit that dog though, but at least it was old and whatever." I'm like, knock it off. Yeah. Cause sometimes dates don't always do it either. Something too that I started doing was because I was making something for somewhere we were going and I bought a carton of sour cream. And the dumbest part was, for some reason, I even thought to myself, like, I should just check, whatever, but I didn't. I mean, I checked the date, was fine. But, because here, like, it'll be like a plastic lid, but then there'll be like a plastic seal that's like sealed onto it under the lid. And I a lot of times would always check and make sure the seal is good. Well, I didn't, and, like, we don't live close to grocery stores, and so, I got home and went to make the thing, and it was the seal inside was open, and it was bad, and I was so mad at myself. I'm like, "How dumb." I even thought about it while I was at the store, but I was, like, in a hurry, so I didn't take the time to do it and check, and I'm like, oh. So now I, like, always open and make sure that that seal inside is shut. Oh my gosh, Sue, you and my boys, they like love chocolate milk. Oh yeah. What'd your neighbor do now, Kate? Speaking about old.
How would you feel?
Oh, yikes. I'm glad you can have your windows open now, or your curtains. I mean, it's sad that she passed away, but oh man. I know my grandma actually, what's today? Wednesday. She comes home from Florida. One of her friends she lives in like a senior apartment place, but she's been down in Florida at her niece's since, I don't know, January, February or something. Anyway, one of her friends that lives in the apartment complex has passed away while she's been gone. So I know she's like kind of dreading, like she's excited to come home, but she's kind of dreading, like it's going to be weird because that lady came over all the time and she had a dog and like we'd be over there and she'd come over with her dog and stuff. And so that is going to be strange, but oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I can't even imagine that. That would be so awful, like to know you were. Yeah, that is a long life. I think that's about the age that the lady was that my grandma was friends with too. Like, but yeah, to be like coming to visit and then that, ugh, yuck.
Yeah, I got 96.
No fun. Well, I guess since my fam's in the house and it's getting to be about that time to start dinner, and my husband's loud when he's making dinner, so I don't want to be on here talking when he's. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't even hear me right now.
What?
I said, well, it's about time. And I said, my family's in, whatever. And it's about time to start dinner. I'm like, my husband's really loud when he's making dinner. So I don't want to be on here trying to talk.
Yeah. Yeah, when I start the air fryer.
Right. Oh, yeah. Are you making chicken parmesan? Or no?
I wasn't thinking of trying all that hard.
Oh, what were you going to make?
Bratwurst.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. So funny. Yeah, that's the hard thing too. Because sometimes, like the neighbor who was a pain, you might not know until the next people come in that they weren't as big of a pain as you thought, right? Hopefully not. He said he's going to make bratwurst instead. Oh, because I guess if we want to go for a walk or something, we don't want to like have a long drawn out.
Yeah, and I got ones I want to use up.
Yeah, we'll do that. Aw. That was nice, Sue. But yeah, I think we're gonna go for a walk and enjoy the sunshine while it's out. And I'm not gonna fry this time. And yeah, but thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me today. I will do my live again next Wednesday. So 2:00 next Wednesday. Since I'm like, it's so funny because I started doing it on Tuesdays because it was like I was out in the morning and then I'd come home. So I was already like put together and whatever. So it just kind of like flowed well. But then lately it's been like I literally do not leave the house. Like we'll go to church on Sunday, but other than that, well, last Saturday I had a baby or not a bridal shower. But otherwise, like I'm not even leaving the house except for it keeps being on Tuesdays. But it's not like in the morning, it's later in the day. So then I can't come on and do the live. So I'm like, yes, Sue, I will do that. Oh my goodness. Oh, fun stuff, Kate. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I will be much smarter this time. But also I'll be covered up because it's only 50 degrees out. So it was last time I was like sitting out there in a tank top and stuff and just yeah. But all right. Well, I love you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are always so loyal and always here with me. And I look forward to it very much. So I look forward to talking with you next week. Okay. Yeah, and if you're like trying to eat better, it makes it hard, doesn't it? For sure. All right. Well, I love you guys. Have an awesome rest of your week. And I already know the video that's coming up on. Wait, what's today? Today's Wednesday. On Friday? Friday. Yeah, I'm doing Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. That's right. So, yeah. So, look forward to that. It's a fun one. So, all right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.